Let's see. Recording. Yes, it's recording, Jason.
Is this it? Oh,
Yes,
I love this angle. This is the upward angle where it's just like the showing off like my thighs angle.
Yeah.
This is the upward. All right.
Yeah. I like your baseball hat. And
Thank
everything.
you.
You're a baseball kind of guy.
Yeah, I also just didn't wash my hair in like 2 days. I'm not just gonna have like greasy hair like Tim Wolf, you know. I'm gonna wear a baseball hat.
Yeah. I'm going to tell Tim you said that.
I mean,
I'll send him this video.
He's gonna watch this.
Probably
You know what I
he
mean?
will. Probably listen to it on his way to a show or something.
Yeah, probably.
I know Dave Ruggiero, he told me he listened to my podcast with Tim, going somewhere on the show or something like that. So it's a likelihood Tim will do that as well.
I listened to your podcast with Tim. I had a show. I told you that. I had
yeah.
a show, and it was like the exact. I forget how long your podcast.
Yeah, it was exact length.
It was the same length as my drive, so like that's what I'll listen to.
Yeah, makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Since you like baseball so much, Jason, I take it your favorite Simpsons episode is Homer at the Bat.
I love Homer at the Bat.
And it was a great episode.
Yeah.
And that's John Schwartzwell.
It's also the greatest. So the song at the end of Homer at the Bat, Talkin' Softball, is a parody of a song called Talkin' Baseball. That is also one of the most fun songs to write a parody to. Writing any song parody to the tune of that song.
Yeah, that was a great episode, and
yeah, that's one of my favorite Simpsons episodes, definitely.
And that's a John Schwartzwelder.
Okay. Yeah.
He wrote that one, which makes sense because towards the end of the episod, all those famous baseball players that Mr. Burns had.
Cap Anson, Three Finger Brown.
Yeah, like he, if anybody doesn't know this episode, so there's an episode from season 3 of The Simpsons called Homer at the Bat, and it's a great episode. And
I brought my Simpsons episode guide.
Yeah, so he has it in there.
Yes.
And I also have it in a DVD as well. I do have that episode on DVD. But essentially, in the episode, Mr. Burns has like a rival nuclear power plant company. He has like a rival in the business world. And they have their baseball teams. You have his baseball team and his rival's baseball team. And in order for him to win, Mr. Burns ends up getting all these like professional baseball players in it, except for Homer. Homer's the only one that's not professional. So like ringers, and then there's Homer. And then towards the end of the episode, all these professional baseball players get into these, very absurd situations to prevent them from getting to the game. Like one gets trapped into like a never-ending void.
I love that you're describing the plot of Homer at the Bat for everyone.
Yeah, I want to get, I'll describe some things.
They could have watched Homer at the Bat by now.
Yeah.
Homer at the Bat aired on February 20th, 1992. I was in 2nd grade.
I wasn't born yet.
Yeah, this book, The Simpsons Episode Guide, this was my Bible when I was like 13 years old.
I would probably have had it as well if I was.
This was how I could reference all the good quotes.
But yeah, watch Homer at the Bat. It's a great episode.
Everybody watch Homer at the Bat, everybody. Disney Plus, shout out, sponsor of the show.
Or if you want to support physical media, buy season 3 on DVD.
Yeah, go to Half Price Books and buy Simpsons season 3.
Or just go on Amazon. They're very pricey on Amazon.
I was trying to get everybody a deal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go to support your local exchange and get Simpsons season 3. Why do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because on if you go on Amazon, they're very expensive. My aunt got me most of all the Simpsons seasons I have. My aunt got most of all of them for me, and they were pricey. They I think one of them was over $100.
Yeah.
And what have you. So they're very pricey, but they're worth it. They're nice collector's editions.
Yeah. When was the last time you watched a new Simpsons?
It's been quite a minute.
I think I watched maybe The Treehouse of Horror last year. That's it.
It's been a hot minute since I've watched any New Simpsons. For a while, I was watching New Simpsons when I was much younger, in high school and everything.
Okay.
But after high school, I don't know why, I just kind of
It's just, it's
it needs to end.
Yeah, it's just obviously they're gonna keep milking it for money as they do so many franchises.
Yeah.
They can make money off it, so they will. But It's not The Simpsons anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they had a good thing going on for a while. Like even when the core writers left after season 4, like there were some like you had can't think of their names right now. Well, that will come to me eventually.
Like, how do they handle the generations in the new Simpsons? Because if you do a new show now, Homer's a millennial.
Yeah, he is.
Where, originally Homer was like a baby boomer. They did flashback episodes where Homer was in high school in the 70s.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I remember, they had a episode in which, some years ago, in which, Homer was a high schooler in the 90s. And,
they did do that then?
Yeah, and in which, he was, into, Nirvana and Kurt Cobain and everything.
Right.
And, so, yeah, they have changed it and everything. And, at this point, I'm like, is Grandpa even, a World War II veteran anymore? Or is he, a Vietnam War veteran?
Well, Grandpa Simpson was always, too old.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, Bart's 10, Homer is, in his 30s.
Yeah, he's 37, 38, I think.
See, here's what's weird. According to my Simpsons episode guide from 1998, they say Homer Simpson is 36 years old.
Yeah.
But also, they say Marge is 34, but there's a flashback episode where they're in high school. They're both seniors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they don't have a continuity.
The point I'm making is if Homer's in his mid-30s, Grandpa Simpson really should only be in his mid-60s, but he always acts 85.
Yeah.
Grandpa is on the verge of dementia.
Yeah, he always looked like he was in his 70s or 80s, older than 60s. And also, Mr. Burns, before we started doing this podcast, we were watching Last Exit to Springfield, which is basically the best Simpsons episode ever. And Mr. Burns' age is very, inconsistent as well throughout the years. There's a flashback in that episode in which it was Mr. Burns as a little kid in 1909. And at the same time, seasons later, it establishes that Mr. Burns fought in World War II with Grandpa Simpson. And so it's wait, what?
I think that is also part of the joke. The way they contradict what state Springfield is in.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's also a little bit of a joke to contradict ages of Mr. Burns and stuff like that.
Yeah, continuity, with The Simpsons or Family Guy or South Park or any of those kind of shows has never been, they've never stuck with them.
Yeah.
They've always changed it as the years gone on.
Yeah.
And what have you, which is the advantage of having a series that's not serialized.
Yeah.
That doesn't have, arcs and everything.
Yeah.
And what have you. But, we'll return to that.
We will return to
We will return to that.
We will return to whatever you want.
Yes. So, Jason.
Yeah.
What made you get into comedy? What are your influences other than Jerry Seinfeld? We all know that.
Well, I mean, I grew up in the 90s, so my biggest comedic influences were The Simpsons and Seinfeld. I watched every show from the 90s, but those were the two.
Yeah, they were the vanguard of comedy television in the 90s.
But they weren't stand-ups. My stand-up influences were growing up, Seinfeld was the only stand-up I ever saw. I didn't watch
Seinfeld.
Yeah, I didn't watch The Tonight Show when I was 12.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So and Comedy Central was not a channel, and then it wasn't available.
Yeah.
And then, so by the time I really started to watch stand up, I was probably in high school, and the Comedy Central half hour was the coolest thing for me. I always that was when I first saw Louis C.K. and Jim Gaffigan and people like that. They were no name comedians in 2001 or something.
Yeah, 2001, 2002.
Yeah.
I think at that time that was pre Louis C.K. changing his style, because there's two versions of Louis C.K.
Mm-hmm.
There's the first version in which he was very silly, very absurd, and everything.
That's what he is in the Comedy Central Presents.
Yeah.
So he's doing that half hour. He's doing racist farm animal jokes.
Yeah.
Blacks.
Yeah.
You know, and if you know that joke.
Yeah, I think I've heard that.
Yeah, it's like an old joke of his. Like that's it's very like weird and silly and absurd. Like that's
Yeah. And then he became more personal, but he still kept like that weird.
yeah. That was like that was
in 2004, 2005. Like I think around there is when he started doing that.
I guess, yeah.
And what have you.
Louis was actually really big. Louis basically is the reason I started comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Is yeah.
Expand upon that, Jason.
I mean, I was always interested in comedy, like when I was younger, but like I didn't do like if I had happened upon an open mic when I was 20, like maybe, but I never saw that.
Yeah.
So like when I was in college, that age, like I wanted to be like a writer, like a filmmaker, and like I kind of took stabs in that direction, but then I don't know, I started to figure out how hard that was. And like the next thing I knew, I was in my late 20s, and I was like back living with my parents, and I was like, and then like I was 28, and I started watching like a lot of. I didn't realize that Louis C.K. had like an evolution in his career.
Yeah.
So he had like 4 or 5 specials that I had never seen, plus his show.
Yeah.
So I just like watched all of his specials. And like, this guy is hilarious, and it really like started getting me thinking about like I always kind of thought maybe I could be a comedian.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like one time, I think it was in my mid-20s, I went with a friend to see his friend was doing amateur night at the Funny Stop, and I saw it and I was like, these guys all suck. I would be so much better than all of them. I hate all of them. They suck. I should do this, but then I never did it until I was in like my late 20s.
Anybody you remember in your mid 20s?
Oh, I don't think, like, I have no idea if anyone I knew was on that show.
Yeah.
It was just a normal amateur night at the Funny Stop.
Yeah. You started in 2012 as well?
I started like at the end of 2012. Like I did 2 sets in 2012. And then I really got going in 2013.
Yeah,
so
because
Tim started in like earlier 20. Tim has like a year on me or so.
Yeah, because Tim started in 2012 as well.
I started I did 2 sets in 2012.
I was 14 in 2012.
Yeah, well, I was 28. So
yeah, I'm 28 now.
Yeah, well, you started young in comedy.
Yeah.
Like 28 is kind of, it's not old to start comedy because some people start when they're like 40.
Yeah,
but like
Ron Shaw.
It's still like I don't like I still at the time I was like I probably should have done this earlier.
Yeah. Louis C.K. is a big influence on me as well.
Yeah.
Like when I started watching comedy, it was usually like comedy shows, like adult animated shows, like Simpsons, Family Guy, and American Dad, and the Adult Swim shows like Aqua Teen Hunger Force and Squidbillies and all that kind of stuff. And then the first stand-up comic I discovered that I'm like, ooh, I really like this is Dane Cook.
Well, how old were you then?
This had to be, so when I discovered Dane Cook, when I started watching him, that had to be 2010, 2011. So it was, I think, at the tail end of him, basically, of his fame. Because in the mid to late 2000s is really when he had his, like, very big...
Yeah, I never really got into Dane Cook. I don't know.
Well, he is the most hated
I don't hate Dane Cook.
I don't hate him either.
I think he was just never really my style. Maybe.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't hate him either.
I don't know.
And then after him, I got into Gabriel Iglesias and Jeff Dunham.
Okay.
And I'm like, ooh, this is fun. And then sometime after them is really when I got into Louis C.K. I think that was like late 8th grade. So that had to be 2013. Towards the end of 8th grade is when I discovered Louis C.K. because I would see his name sometimes. I'm like, oh, let's check out this Louis C.K. And I checked out his special, Chewed Up. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm really liking this.
Yeah.
Because in that special, like, he really goes bold in that special when he starts talking about slurs. Which he talks about, cunts, faggot, nigger. he talks about those slurs and does it in a very funny way of talking about them, and it was a very bold way of like kind of starting off a special like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I really like this. This is very funny, well done, and everything. And then I went from there. I watched him, watched Bill Burr, Bill Hicks, Carlin, Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah.
I eventually started appreciating Hedberg more when I discovered Stephen Wright.
Okay.
When I discovered Stephen Wright, I eventually appreciated Hedberg more. I did like Hedberg before, but I liked him even more once I discovered Stephen Wright.
Okay.
And when I was writing jokes, because I started writing jokes in like summer of 2014, and they were kind of more in the style of like basically going on with things about my likes and dislikes, and just kind of like ranting and raving, because that was kind of a thing. I mean, it's still kind of a thing, but it was more of a thing back then.
To rant and rave.
Yeah, kind of like a Bill Burr.
Okay.
Kind of like a Bill Burr. Lewis
Yeah.
does that a little bit and everything, and Bill Hicks and what have you. And eventually, once I got around to Stephen Wright, it's like, all right, structure. Jokes and everything. And what have you. So that's where that was me, but this is all about Jason.
Oh yeah, this is all about me.
We had to derail into me. I was just relating to something with myself, with Louis and all that.
Yeah.
And so tell us what it was like in the comedy scene of 2012. What was your first set like?
It did not go well.
Well, that's usual.
I didn't realize how bright the lights would be, so I was really thrown by just like how I couldn't see the audience. And then I was just up there just reciting words. And I was like, this is not going well. But then the last joke I did got like a few laughs. It was just like, what was it, 5-minute set? It was like 4 minutes of nothing, and then like maybe 1 minute of like a few laughs.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see.
And then I scrapped like the whole set, and the next week I did like 5 different minutes, and it did a lot better.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And then I didn't do it again for like 3 months, but then I started doing it like
more consistently.
Yeah, in 2013 I did it like a couple times in the beginning of the year, and then like I just made this like resolution that I was gonna do stand-up comedy 100 times in the year 2013. So I that gave me like a goal, you know what I mean? So I was like writing down, 1, 2, 3, like every time I performed. So I don't know if I hadn't done that, I may have quit comedy, because like that sort of motivated me.
Yeah. Gave you a purpose. You had a endpoint to reach.
Yeah, I did. I was like, well, if I think I might be good at this, I'll commit to doing it.
Yeah. And like speaking of endpoints, like when it comes down to like joke writing and everything, I don't know what your process is, but with my process of, you can tell me after I tell you mine. But with my,
I like that's a big secret. Like, all right, if I tell you my joke writing process. Even though we're recording this for the internet.
Yeah. But how I usually write jokes is that I think of the punchline first, and then I just go backwards, which is an effective way of writing jokes, because you have an endpoint. You have I know where the endpoint is at. That's the joke, and let's go backwards and have a setup, and it makes your jokes more punchier that way when you write that way. So what's your way of doing jokes?
I usually just have a thought in my head, and then that thought is followed by another thought, which is, wait, that could be a bit.
Yeah.
And then sometimes that suggests like one or like few other things would just come to me.
Yeah.
And I have to write it down or I'll forget it. So usually I'm in the middle of something and I just get my phone out and write it in the notes section.
Yeah.
And try to do that.
Is it when you think of a thought, do you think is this a punchline or?
I mean, I'll just go to the notes app. I mean, let's see what we got.
Ooh, we're getting a sneak peek of
I
have not been doing
a lot of comedy writing this year.
Oh.
I've been into other like writing endeavors, so I really have not. I haven't been like really doing any I really need to sit down.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I just have like I love complaining and whining, and it gets a bad name. So it's just the idea to do a joke about how, like, to take the point of view, like, to defend whining. You know what I mean?
That is a very Jason.
Yeah.
I can see you doing a joke like that.
I don't know. Like, I don't even know if this is going to be funny, but I just wrote on my phone, listen, if any of you out there are struggling, you're barely making it through the day mentally, just try this. Try blaming someone else for all your problems. It feels so good to not take responsibility for your problems. Pick a person, a group of people, can even be someone dead, and it's all their fault. You get the best night of sleep of your life. Next morning, check the stupid Fitbit app your wife made you download. Click on sleep score, and it will say perfect. I don't know if there's anything to that. I've never done this on stage. This just suggested like that was just thoughts I had.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I get that.
It would have to like be. I actually like to go on stage at an open mic, typically with a bit that's not fully formed, and just see like, yeah, just see like just get a feel for like, does this get a reaction?
Yeah.
Like, do people identify with this? You know what I mean? And sometimes it's not. Like, I had this other, like, I was trying to get this to work, and it was like it didn't connect with anyone. So I was trying to do a joke about how I'm 40, and it's been a disappointment because 40 was the age that I thought was old when I was young. And I looked forward to being 40 because people would stop making me do physical things. Because when I was a kid, it was always like, oh, Jason will help move that.
Yeah.
So the joke is like, well, I'm 40 and my dad's still asking me to move a cabinet. But like, I feel like there's something there.
Yeah, I can see it as well.
I don't know, like, I don't know how to make it work. And I got other stuff like, and I was trying to work it where like when you're 40 and you're a millennial, you're not allowed to say you're old. Because every time a 40-year-old millennial says they're old, a baby boomer pops up like a ninja and says, you're not old. So I've done that line on stage. That line gets a laugh, but I'm trying to get everything around it to work.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's like...
Yeah, you'll get it work.
Yeah, I mean, that's... Yeah, I have some other stuff. Like, that was... Like, I really honestly haven't been doing like a ton of writing this year. No, I've just been not into comedy, I guess.
This year?
Yeah, I guess. Well, because me and Tim did the comedy special in March. So for the first 3 months of the year, I was just doing like all of my old bits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just doing all old bits.
Yeah.
And since then, like, I don't know, I haven't really been working at comedy. I've been working on like a book and stuff like that.
Oh, of course, I can always see you as a novelist. I'm working on my novel, guys. You do, like, I can see you writing a novel, Jason. You got that novel vibe to you.
It's hard. I mean,
I know.
It's a huge endeavor.
Yeah. And just with structure and everything. And, it's a different ballgame than, stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both hard, but...
They're both art forms, but they're really not similar, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, Louis C.K. wrote a novel, which I have not read, but, like, there are very few crossover stand-ups and novelists.
Yeah, like, Louis came out with one novel. Stephen Wright came out with a novel some years ago.
Yeah, he did.
Harold.
The dude, Sam Talent, I read his book about a comedian, but like, can you name any other comedian who wrote a novel? Like, there aren't a lot of crossovers within those art forms.
Yeah, I mean, I have plenty of books over there are memoirs.
Yeah,
but they're a bit different from a novel.
Yeah, like, I don't know what it is. Like,
memoir is a little bit, you could say, a little bit easier to write because it's like, it's your life. You have something, you have a basis to write from. I'm writing about being a kid, but like, it's
fiction because I feel like real life is not interesting enough.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like memoir because, like, first of all, I find it weird to, like, just write about people I know.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't like doing that.
Yeah.
So, and, like, also, like, when you write about yourself, I feel like it needs to be fictionalized to be interesting.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, that's kind of why I do the comedy I kind of do.
Yeah.
Is because, like, when I was, getting into comedy and everything, I was like, oh, what should I do to stand out from the crowd? And I started noticing everyone was talking about themselves, and there was great comedians that do that. But after a while, it gets very samesies and whatnot, and you're like, I want to do something different. I want to have my own kind of fictional world I live in.
Yeah.
And so that's why I do the type of comedy I do, and what have you. And yeah, I completely agree with you on that. Real life can be boring. Sometimes it can be fun, but a lot of times it can be boring. I mean, I consider my life to be boring, so that's why I write the way I do, and what have you.
I think I read something where Larry David said that, or Jerry Seinfeld said that interesting things did not happen to him, but Larry David was someone who just crazy things always happened to him.
Yeah.
And I don't have a lot of I feel like crazy things don't happen to me.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want them to either.
Yeah,
so I hope I didn't jinx it, and now the universe is like, all right,
yeah,
it's coming.
Yeah, crazy things don't usually happen to me either, and I mean, there's been a few, but not that much, and and it would just be stressful just to live in a life with just crazy shit happening over and over again, and I know when they were writing Seinfeld, they did pull a lot of stuff from their personal lives and what happened to them and what have you.
And the other writers as well.
Yeah, and other writers like Larry and then the other writers. And I think pretty much nothing from Seinfeld was ever crazy.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
So it was always pulled from other things like, what's considered the best Seinfeld episode ever, The Contest, in which they all try to go their longest without masturbating. Yeah. Larry actually did that with a group of friends. Yeah.
So I also had a Seinfeld book when I was a kid. It wasn't like a complete episode guide. Yeah. It was a book about Seinfeld. And in this book, they ranked the top 5 episodes. And they ranked The Contest #1. And I had never seen this before. So when I bought this book, Seinfeld was it was new, but also on reruns. Yeah. So I was like, oh my God, I gotta watch this episode. Yeah. This is the greatest episode ever. I was probably 12 or something. Yeah. And I saw on the TV guide that The Contest was on. And I told my parents, I was like, this is the greatest episode of Seinfeld per my book. And let's watch this together. And the episode started, my mom was like, we are not watching this together. And I am like, I don't even know what it's about. Yeah. I don't even know what this is about. I don't even know why you don't want to watch this.
Now you know why.
Yeah, now I do. But I didn't know.
Yeah, you know it's about masturbating. Because,
I did not know. No.
Because, I mean, if it was a Curb episode, they would be open about it. They would just be...
Well, that'd be 10, 15 years after.
Yeah, if
I also don't think that's the greatest episode of Seinfeld. It's fine.
I do like The Contest. Yeah. I think one of the reasons why people rank it very high is because Larry used a lot of innuendos for it. Instead of
Master of My Domain, that one? Yeah.
That's where that kind of iconic line comes from. He used a lot of innuendos for the episode because he couldn't just flat out at 1994 or whatever the episode that came out 93. He couldn't just say flat out masturbation on primetime television. Yeah. He couldn't do that, so he had to find clever ways to kind of go around the standards and practices in order to do the episode. And you have Robert JFK Jr. He's mentioned. You don't see him, but he's mentioned.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And JFK Jr. ends up sleeping with Jerry's then broken up girlfriend because he has a girlfriend with the majority of the episode. and then she's a virgin and everything, and she doesn't want to have sex yet. She's like, nah, and Jerry's all frustrated, and everything sexually, because he wants a release, and eventually, JFK Jr. and his soon ex-girlfriend meet up, and she loses her virginity to him.
Oh, that's right.
Because because they're doing a montage of all of them, just like and with Jerry and George and Elaine, they're like by themselves. Kramer, of course, is with the nudist from across the apartment. And because they were like peeping Tomming on her, and then towards the end of the episode, like, is that Kramer? Like, oh, he's waving at us. And I mean, you don't see the girl, but you see like her hair or something. Kramer's with in the bed, and then you see, and it's like a surprise with like, oh, it's Jerry's now ex-girlfriend and JFK Jr. And what have you, and I know he's on TV Guide. On TV Guide, there are 100 best episodes ever. The contest is #1.
Of just Seinfeld or anything?
Of TV shows in general episodes.
Yeah, I hate other people's rankings of anything. I just always disagree with them.
Yeah,
I just don't like. Anytime anyone else ranks anything, I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I understand.
But I do love ranking things personally.
I do as well.
Yeah.
Like
I rank anything.
Like what we what we watched with Simpsons season 4, like the last exit to Springfield is often ranked like #1 on people's like top 10 Simpsons episodes list.
Yeah.
What's your feeling with that, Jason?
I honestly, picking a favorite Simpsons or Seinfeld episode, it's like picking a favorite Beatles song. They're just it just you're like, oh, it's this one. Oh no, it's this one. Oh no, it's this one.
Yeah.
Like, I do like part 2 of the Keith Hernandez episode. Actually, it's part 1. It's part 1 of the Keith Hernandez episode. Yeah, it's called The Boyfriend. That I think I know episode that's a great episode. Yeah. That's also the book in the library. That's what's his name? Philip Baker Hall is the librarian. Yeah. That's a great one.
Yeah, it was a great one. I know I had no idea about this episode because they put Seinfeld on Netflix years ago. I think they still have it on Netflix now.
I think it's on... Oh, is it on Netflix?
Yeah, they have all 9 seasons on Netflix.
I have those on old DVDs somewhere.
I have all Curb seasons in my DVD thing there. And eventually I'll have to come around to get all the Seinfeld seasons. But anyways, I had no idea about these 2 episodes, but in Seinfeld, it was the season finale of season 3 of Seinfeld. They did a 2-parter.
That's the show. That's the
Yeah, in which like
that's also one of my favorites. In
which it is like I thought that's what you were referring to, but then I was thinking
that was just a great season.
Yeah,
the Bubble Boys in that season.
Season 4.
Season 3. Season 3 is when they do the show Jerry. That's season 3.
Season 4. That's
really?
Yeah, it's season 4. And also that's the season in which, because beforehand, Seinfeld was struggling in the ratings. If you didn't know this, they struggled for a while in the ratings and everything. And by season 4, that's really when they started picking up. And the reason for that was because of the Super Bowl. Because they had the Super Bowl. They did a great moment in which they had upcoming Seinfeld episode after the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Because the Super Bowl is like the biggest moment in the U.S. every year, and tens of millions of people tune in for it. And so you have like 20 million, 30 million, probably more than that, tuning in for the Super Bowl. And then, of course, we want to keep the TV on afterwards. And next episode of Seinfeld comes in. I think that episode was when George looked at the cleavage of the NBC guy's underage daughter.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you're getting a good look, Costanza, or something like that. And then eventually the guy ends up getting like a stomach ache from something he eats, and he has to like throw up or take a shit or something. Yeah. It was that episode, I believe, after the Super Bowl, and once that came around, that episode got a lot of views as well because it came on after the Super Bowl. After that, Seinfeld was in the top tier of the ratings. After that episode, the rest of season 4, it started going up in the ratings, and then after that, like from 5 to 9, it was just in the fucking top 3 of the ratings
every year,
and what have you. That's what happened with The Office. In season 4, I think, of The Office, they had a 2-parter, and it was the episode in which it was safety, I believe, in which Dwight basically causes the fire alarms to go off and everything.
Right.
Yeah. They did a 2-parter with that, and that episode, the first part of that happened after the Super Bowl that year, and that's really kind of when The Office US just started blowing up, basically. And so,
that show was a few years in when I even first heard of it, I think.
Yeah. Of course, it was based off of the UK one.
I saw that and didn't really like it. I could never get into it.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm a real big Ricky Gervais fan. I just don't really find him funny.
That's fine. You like what you like.
Yeah, but I don't know. He doesn't. I don't know. I didn't like the British Office.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I mean, the U.S. is objectively better than the UK one because there's more episodes. There's more to get from the U.S. one than the British one.
I had a discussion once with someone who tried to claim the British version was better.
Yeah,
and his logic, the reason he thought it was better, was the same reason that I thought the U.S. was better. He said that the Ricky Gervais character was was just a bad person.
Yeah,
and he thought that was funnier. And I think it's much funnier that Michael Scott is he's just a child.
Yeah.
That character is actually not a bad person. That character is just
stupid.
No, he's just a 9-year-old that's 40.
Yeah.
Michael Scott is he's like a child.
Yeah.
I
can see that.
In a way, he's a complete innocent. He's just like a child who wants everything for love for himself.
Yeah.
That's what makes he's actually in a way completely harmless.
Yeah, that is true.
If you rewatch the first episode where they're imitating the British one.
Yeah.
And it's he plays it he lies to Pam that she's fired.
Yeah.
That's not something that season 3 Michael Scott would do.
Yeah.
That's him pretending to be Ricky Gervais, the other character.
Yeah, season 1 is they do basically replicate the British Office for season 1.
Yeah.
Particularly the first episode.
The first episode is the same one.
Yeah, it's kind of remade into American version and what have you, and then after that they have Diversity Day in season 1, and that is a good episode, very good episode, Diversity Day. And then I think the first season of Office, the American Office, did not do good in the ratings.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they changed the style, because the season 1 of Office in the U.S. They had a darker lighting to basically replicate the British one, because they had a darker lighting in the British one. And then by season 2, the lighting is much more brighter and everything. And there is some edgy stuff in The Office, the American Office, but they do kind of tone it down a little bit more compared to the British, because the British one is very cynical. It's very kind of they're very unhappy.
Yeah.
Particularly Ricky Gervais's character. I mean, Ricky Gervais's character does have a great moment towards the end of and at the end of season 2, because they have a Christmas episode in season 2, or as they call it, series 2 or series 1 over there.
Yeah, that's weird.
But he has a great moment in which his boss is basically an asshole, and he's an asshole towards Ricky's character, and Ricky ends up insulting him and getting get one up on him, and that's a great moment and everything. But with Steve Carell's character and his equivalent to his boss, that never happened.
Okay.
With him and that character, they got along with each other pretty well.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
And what have you? I can't think of the name of the actor that plays his boss and the American Office. He was an Anchorman. He was one of the guys in Anchorman.
David Wallace is the character.
Yeah, David. No, not David Wallace. It's another character.
Okay.
Can't think of his name, but
I don't remember him having another boss.
I think he did.
It's been a while since I've watched The Office. Actually, I think maybe enough time has passed to rewatch it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it since after I got done with high school. Because it was after my senior year of high school is when I decided to watch The Office. It was summer of 2017. And that's when I started watching it. And then after that, I watched Parks and Recreation because it's from the same people.
Yeah, that's a good show.
Yeah, that was good as well. And what have you. And that was like really the last great bracket of NBC shows, of comedy shows.
Yeah, the sitcom is not
a thing anymore.
No, it's kind of sad because I really grew up loving the American sitcom as an art form. Yeah. But there's something about it, like it just doesn't work anymore. Especially like a laugh track show is like I don't want to hear a laugh track on any never again.
Yeah, I mean with those last bracket of like NBC comedy shows, they didn't have like a laugh track.
No, they didn't have one. No,
it was the American Office, Parks and Recreation, Community, and 30 Rock, and all four of those shows did not have laugh tracks in them. They all were like multi-camera shows.
Yeah, How I Met Your Mother had a laugh track, and that's like I don't know when that ended. But...
I think in 2014, 2015.
Okay, so that was 10 years ago. Even.
Yeah. And I think with the medium just changed. I think with streaming and everything, streaming gives you more opportunity to do more things.
Also, just no one ever has the laugh track. I don't think.
Yeah, unless it's like a older show that they put on streaming.
Well, it started because it was shows used to be filmed in front of a studio.
Yeah.
In the 1950s when they started TV, they felt like you needed to hear the laughter because they didn't know how the medium would even work.
Yeah. And with your shows and all those kind of I Love Lucy and all that.
Those shows are really good, some of them.
Yeah.
Sid Caesar, if you watch some of those on YouTube.
Caesar's Hour.
Oh, I don't know what it is. I thought it was called Sid Caesar's Show.
That may be Caesar's Hour.
It's with Carl Reiner.
Yeah.
And Imogene Coca. There are some funny moments on those shows.
Yeah, I think that's Caesar's Hour.
Okay, whatever it's called.
But because I ended up doing a video on my YouTube channel about Mel Brooks.
Okay.
And Mel Brooks, who is still alive, he's 100 years old now.
Did he hit 100?
Yeah, he's 100
I thought
now.
he was still 99. When did he hit 100?
June 28th.
Oh, so very recently.
Yeah. And
why did no one say that? I didn't see that anywhere.
I saw.
You would think that
I saw my feed. I think it has to do with the algorithm because everything now is an algorithm.
The algorithm doesn't think I like Mel Brooks, I guess.
Yeah, it dictates.
I would have liked to have known that he hit 100.
I think if you like a certain page, like a fan page or something, it'll give you all that stuff that you liked and what have you. But I did a video about him, and I did through his history and everything. And because he did stand up and everything.
Did he do stand up?
Yeah, he did stand up, and then his very first comedy show he did was in 1949 called the Admiral Broadway Show.
Okay.
And that was with Sid Caesar. Sid Caesar, he I think he co-created that show, or he was hired to do that show, and through doing the Borscht Belt and everything, he knew Mel. And he brought Mel along on that show. That was the very first show that Mel Brooks wrote for, comedy-wise. And then after that was Your Show Shows.
Okay.
Which was one of the very early sketch comedy shows.
Yeah.
It was not the first sketch comedy.
I think that's the one I'm thinking of. I think that's the one I watched on YouTube.
Because Your Show Shows was one of the very first sketch comedy shows. It wasn't the first, because there's ones that predated it. Because television really did not start in the 50s. You started having it in the late 40s, but it's mostly associated with the 50s, which makes sense.
Well, I mean, there were radio comedies before that.
Yeah, that's what killed vaudeville. Radio comedy and everything. And then you moved on to television and what have you. I mean, radio is still a thing. I still listen to the radio. And yeah, then after your show of shows is when because that ended. I think I think Emma Jean Coco is on your show of
I think
shows.
she is. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe she ended up leaving the show like because that show went on from 1950 to 54. So I
Yeah.
think either towards the middle or end of the series is when that show ended. Well, is when she left, not ended, because it was her and Carl Reiner. They were the actors. Carl Reiner double duty. He wrote and then he acted in the sketches.
Yeah.
I think Mel Brooks. I think he did both as well. He wrote and also acted in the sketches. Mel Token was the head writer.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard of him.
I mean, maybe at some point.
But he was a head writer. And then after your show of shows ended, primarily because of Imogene Coco leaving the show, is when Sid Caesar got pretty much everyone from your show of shows, including some extra people for Caesar's Hour, which was his sketch comedy show after that.
Okay.
And Larry Gelbart is one writer that was new for the show, and then another new writer was
Woody Allen.
Yep, that was Woody Allen.
I knew that. I was Woody. I was obsessed with not obsessed, but I was a real big Woody Allen fan when I was like in my early 20s.
Yeah, and
I was obsessed with Woody Allen and Stanley Kubrick in my early 20s.
I am finishing up because I am getting the Criterion Collection's version of Doctor Strangelove. I'll show you after this, but I have it in here.
Yeah.
And it was good and all. And I have 3 Kubrick movies. I have that. I have Clockwork Orange on Blu-ray, and I have The Shining on DVD, and what have you. But yeah, that's when Woody Allen started. That was his first break, which was Caesar's Hour.
Yeah.
And then after Caesar's Hour ended, Reiner and Brooks, they would do a 2,000-year-old man thing, and then things went from there, and what have you. History goes on. Mel Brooks became big, and what have you. But yeah, I've always with your comedy, Jason, you always just remind me of Jerry Seinfeld with just the way your style is. I mean, you have your own spin to it. You don't you don't copy
praise, Vaughn.
You don't copy his stuff.
No.
But you have your own kind of going about it and what have you. And I always loved that frog joke. I should have requested it Saturday.
I almost did it. But I almost did it Saturday, but I was doing an evolution joke that the audience wasn't quite on board with.
Yeah.
And I didn't think they had the stamina for the frog joke.
Yeah. Because I think you did the evolution one towards the end of your set.
Yeah, and it's a little hit or miss, and it needs tightened or something.
Yeah.
It's not a completely dependable joke.
Yeah, I understand that.
I think I need to delete just some of the laughs that aren't amazing, and then just
cut some of the fouls.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can definitely tell with your stand-up that you come from the Jerry Seinfeld school.
I mean, I guess so. I mean, Seinfeld had a book called Sign Language, and it was just the written out versions of all of his jokes.
Yeah.
And I had that as a kid. I like that a lot.
I have, I think there's an updated version of that. And
there is, yeah.
Yes. Is This Anything?
Yeah.
Which I do have that on my bookshelf over there. Yeah. And it's from all his jokes from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. And I think he has a little bit in the 2020s.
Yeah, he has, he's famous for always just doing the same set over and over again, but he has so much material. You know what I mean? Yeah, he has jokes on every topic. Observational comedy is really, it's almost like a lost art.
Yeah.
And it makes a lot of sense because there is so much content.
Yeah.
Just everywhere, not just stand-up, just multiple forms of comedy, so many people doing it. You almost have to be, it makes sense that personal comedy would become a thing because that's just a way to make it yours and distinctive.
Yeah.
If you're doing purely observational comedy, it's like, okay, well, this thing you came up with, it was like someone probably tweeted it 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's probably a meme.
Yeah. Like observational comedy blew up because right now I'm writing a script about Jerry Seinfeld, a video about him.
Okay.
And I've been doing my research and everything. And the observational comedy became mainstream in the 70s, thanks to George Carlin, David Brenner, and Robert Klein. Those were the three that really helped popularize that style of comedy. And then with the personal
Seinfeld kind of in the 80s.
Yeah, he really is like. If you say the best observational comedian, he is it.
Yeah.
Because with Carlin wasn't like strictly. Carlin had a lot of observational comedy in it, but then towards the end, particularly in the 80s or late 80s, going to the 90s, that's really when he became very political.
Yeah.
That's really when you got political Carlin and everything. And one thing that really helped push him towards that. And this is on record, he even mentioned it, is that, SCTV?
Yeah.
The Canadian sketch comedy show. So SCTV, for you guys don't know, is it's basically the Canadian equivalent to SNL. It's just no longer around anymore. And,
can you watch it anywhere besides like YouTube?
I don't know, really.
Yeah.
But you got Rick Moranis and a bunch of other people on it. But there's a sketch on it, and I am watching it last week because somebody brought this sketch up in which they were making fun of Carlin. There's a sketch in which Rick Moranis plays Carlin.
Back in the day? Like, what year was it? Like,
this
what
was
decade was it?
This was like the early mid-'80s. And Rick Moranis did like a spot-on Carlin impression. And like basically how they were doing the sketch in which they were just making, it was like juxtaposing Carlin's style comedy with like a Woody Allen type of film. And it was like Carlin's love life, and Carlin basically Carlin has Rick Moranis in it was basically just going. He was like going on dates and everything, and he was just basically talking about bits.
Yeah.
Just with all his dates and everything.
Okay.
And SCTV were like skewing him for like how he basically his stand-up started becoming, and like Carlin eventually watched that. Is like, shit, I gotta start changing my style.
Yeah, he was very observational in the 80s.
Yeah, like from the 70s to the 80s is really when he was observational, and then he started becoming less observational and more of a satirist. I mean, he was already a satirist to begin with, like particularly with his like Class Clown album. He does satire in there, but he really leaned more into the observational stuff. And then after a while with the SCTV thing. And then also another comic that kind of made him really change as well was Sam Kinison. Because
I think you had to be there for him.
I do like his stuff, and
I see Sam Kinison and I'm like, I don't get why this is funny.
I like some of his bits and everything.
Yeah.
And I get it as well. And I think that's a good perspective to put. You have to be there to understand.
Like, I just see a guy screaming, and I'm like, I don't know why this is funny.
But what happened with Sam Kinison was that George Carlin was on I don't know if he was getting interviewed by Jon Stewart or Chris Rock. It was either Stewart or Chris Rock, because Chris Rock for a while had his own show, the Chris Rock Show.
Yeah.
And he would interview people, other than having sketches on the show. He would also interview people, and he did interview Carlin at one point. And Carlin was either talking to Stewart or Chris Rock, or maybe somebody else. But anyways, and he was talking about how he would be doing stand-up, selling out stadiums and all that jazz, and people are like, "Oh, you hear this new comic? He's really hot right now. You better beware." And Carlin, he's like, most of the time I'll check out the comic and like, "Oh, he's not everything."
Yeah.
But he's like, sometimes it's like, "Oh, I gotta change."
Yeah.
And Sam Kinison was like, "Oh, I gotta change." And so Sam Kinison did have that kind of impact on Carlin, which he's like, oh, he impressed Carlin. and what have you. And then even with Carlin's from '93, I believe because Carlin came out with so fucking many specials, like
He had a lot,
18 or 19. It was like Back to New York or something like that from '93 or something. It was back to something. And
jamming in New York or something, I think.
Something like that. And he dedicated the special.
Yeah.
Henson died in '93, I believe.
Mm.
Or no, '92. It was '92 he died. Because he did not die in '93. Hicks died in early '94, in February '94. And I also have a video about both Hicks and Kennison, and Carlin as well, of course. But yeah, that's some interesting stuff there. My favorite, of course, joke of yours. I know this is random, but yeah, my favorite joke of yours is your frog joke.
Yeah.
And everything. I don't know. It's just so silly to me. I like it. I think it's clever.
I like silly jokes. I feel like absurd, silly jokes like can fall by the wayside because you do crowds that just like don't get them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's sad. Like I don't know. I feel like I can't even remember them now, but I feel like I've lost jokes that were just absurd.
Yeah, and silly. Like I mean, there are some comics that really like that from them, like Stephen Wright.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you need like
Mitch Hedberg.
You need like an educated audience or like comedy educated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that they understand. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's something. It's hard to tell like what's what people like and everything.
Yeah.
And it's easy to do what everyone else does, which is like I'm going to be a storyteller. I'm going to be all personal and all that jazz. And there's people that do that great, but it's like I want to stand out. I want to do my own thing. And I think you stand out, Jason.
I appreciate it.
You stand out. That's why I have you here. I think you stand out.
Appreciate that.
And what have you. And I like people that stand out. That's why I like somebody like Norm Macdonald. R.I.P. He stands out. And he
doesn't have a lot of albums though. I wish he had more.
Yeah. And he Norm he wrote for television for a while in the '90s.
Yeah, Roseanne.
Roseanne was his first big gig. And then, of course, as everyone knows, Saturday Night Live. He wrote for that for a while until he got fired because the head of NBC at the time was good friends with O.J. Simpson, and he did not like how Norm was constantly making O.J. Simpson jokes. But a lot of those jokes were funny. Like my two favorite O.J. Simpson's jokes he does. I'll do my second favorite and the first one, but I'll do the second first and then the gold.
You can do them in any order you want, Vaughn.
All right. But my second favorite O.J. Simpson joke he does.
I like how Saturday. Let me just bring up you real quick. On Saturday, you were like, "All right, I'll do one more pun for you guys," and like you did another joke. And I thought you meant like you were doing one more joke in your act. But then you were just telling the audience, I'm doing one more pun, and then I'll move on to other forms of jokes.
Yeah.
Like you thought the audience was like keeping track of your puns.
Yeah, I only do like 3 of them in a row.
Yeah.
The brothel joke, the ghost joke, the haunted house one.
You were like, I'm gonna do one more pun for you guys.
And then if you want to consider like she keeps forgetting to come out as a pun or like wit or wordplay or whatever. That one's always up in the air. Like you can consider that a pun or just wordplay. I'm always 50-50 if you want to consider that one or not. But I don't really, because some people even like kind of like Jerry Jaffe. I talked to him one day. I'm like, what kind of style of comedy? Like, would you explain my comedy? And he explained it 2 ways. The first one is a lot of non sequiturs. I do admit I do have a lot of non sequiturs and whatnot. And then he said the second type is puns.
Yeah.
But I don't have that many puns. I only have like 3 of them.
Yeah.
And then most of the other stuff are different kind of genres of jokes and what have you. But back to the OJ.
Yeah.
Back to that. Because sometimes on these podcasts we get sidetracked with other shit, and we don't get to the main point.
The main point is your two favorite OJ jokes from Norm.
Yeah, the number 2 was that, and I'm sorry if I don't do these justice. You guys can look these up, but sorry if I don't do them justice here. But the second one is that he's like, during the O.J. Simpson trial, they were wearing O.J.'s glove and everything to see if it would fit his hand and everything. And O.J. says, like, be careful with my glove there. That's my lucky stabbing glove. It was something like that.
Yeah. I get, yeah.
And the other one is my grand favorite. The grand favorite of all O.J. Simpson jokes he does. And when she goes and behind him, it's a picture of O.J. Simpson. And he goes, he's like, this just in. Murder is now legal in California. Because, O.J. was found not guilty in the main trial.
Yeah.
In the silver trial, he was found guilty. But in the main one, he was not.
Yeah.
Because he had good lawyers and other bullshit as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was very clear O.J. did it. His DNA was mixed in with everywhere with his wife and the lawyer and everything. Yeah. And, he had, like, a domestic abuse arrest prior to that in '89. So it's like, this is so obvious it was him.
Yeah.
But because of racial tensions at the time, predominantly with the Rodney King stuff, O.J. Simpson's team exploited those events to basically try to push, like, oh, this is a racist arrest. And
he had the Dream Team.
Yeah, and also he had good lawyers.
Robert Shapiro and Johnny Cochran. Who was the other one?
Kim Kardashian's dad.
That's Robert Shapiro, right? No, that's not. No, you're right. Robert Shapiro was played by John Travolta in the show, I think. I don't know.
But he had the Dream Team, and they sleaze their way through it all, and the whole fucking glove thing was dumb.
Yeah.
Because it's like you can make it out that it can't fit. Like if somebody they can pretend that it's not fitting. So that was dumb. That was a dumb decision, and everything, and what have you. So it was so clear that he was guilty.
Yeah, everyone knows OJ did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in recent years, like, because back then, like, with the racial demographics, most white people believe that he was guilty. With the black community, it was more like he was not guilty. He was framed and everything. Nowadays, the black community is leaning towards, like, yeah, he was guilty.
Yeah.
Because with everything, like, with the racial tensions being gone in the past, I mean, there's still racial tensions, but with those specific racial tensions going past and looking back on it, and like, yeah, he did it.
Yeah.
And also with, the Me Too movements. I mean, I know he didn't rape her or anything, but with, male perpetrators of harming women and everything, that's becoming more of a bigger thing with rape and domestic violence and everything. And it's hard to see him be found not guilty nowadays if something like that happened.
What's that one theory that his son did it or something? Did you hear that one?
Oh, I didn't. And that's just fucking stupid because his son's like 10, 9.
No, I don't. He must not have been at the time because that's like a conspiracy theory is that OJ's son did it.
That's stupid.
I don't know. I didn't even read into it.
That's stupid.
I love Norm Macdonald, but
I do.
When I was a kid, I hated Weekend Update because it was like the news, and I didn't like politics when I was 12.
Yeah.
So I hated like Weekend Update.
Now you like it.
Now I I love Norm now. Like if I'll watch I actually started watching SNL on Peacock.
Yeah.
But I started with 1986, and I think I'm up to 1990.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's interesting watching it now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was a good time to start in '86 because if you start watching the early to mid '80s, it gets rough.
Yeah, I didn't give a shit about that, but the late '80s is such an underrated cast. Late '80s is Phil Hartman, Dana Carvey, Kevin Nealon, who was a very underrated cast member.
Yeah.
Mike Myers comes in at the end of the decade. Victoria Jackson, she's funny. Jan Hooks is very funny.
Yeah. And
John Lovitz. It's a great cast.
Oh yeah.
I'm probably forgetting someone too, but it's a really good cast.
Yeah, I think Dick Ebersol because I think so what happened with SNL was that from 75 to 80 is when Lorne Michaels was the executive producer. And I forget why, but I guess he didn't want to do it anymore. He didn't want to be the producer. So he left from 80 to 85.
Yeah.
That's when he left.
Yeah,
And
I didn't watch any of that then. I skipped those. I just started with 86.
And from 80 to 85 is when he left, and you can tell that the quality started going down. And then I forget who it was. I think it was a woman that took over from him afterwards. And then I think, or maybe in Dick Ebersol, and like towards the end of that, that's when Larry David wrote. I think he wrote from, I believe,
it was like mid 80s.
Yeah, mid 80s. Yeah. And then he eventually left or got fired. And then I think towards the end of Dick Ebersol, from 85 to 86 is when John Swartzwelder, the famous greatest Simpsons writer, when he started writing.
There's a lot of Simpsons writers in the late 80s.
Yeah.
If you watch the closing writing credits of the late 80s, it's like Bob Odenkirk and Conan O'Brien and like a bunch of names from like The Simpsons and like Robert Smigel.
Well, Bill Odenkirk. Bob Odenkirk never wrote for The Simpsons, but his brother did. Bill Odenkirk.
Oh, I just mean like he's a recognizable name.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like Bob Odenkirk wrote the Van Down by the River sketch.
Yeah.
For Second City.
Yeah, it was what's his name? His brother has come to the funny stuff.
It's for Chris. Well, it wasn't originally Chris Farley.
Yeah, Chris Farley.
Apparently, it was like a mediocre sketch until Chris Farley did it. And
that's when really a lot of them came. And I mean, really, you could say the one saving grace of the early '80s is Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, I've really never even seen early '80s SNL. Maybe clips of like Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, because
doing Gumby or something, maybe. I don't know.
Because that's really what happened. That's what really saved SNL from cancellation. Because they were really getting rough there in the early '80s.
Yeah.
And because a lot of the main cast that made it great originally, a lot of them left already. Like, I think Belushi died in '83, but he was already gone by then. Chevy Chase left. I think Chevy Chase only did like the first or second season.
He didn't do much.
Yeah, and he was the very first Weekend Update guy.
Yeah.
And Chevy Chase, according to him, the only other person that was great at Weekend Update was Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, is that his opinion?
Yeah, that's his opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, he's right, but at the same time, Chevy Chase has had a reputation of really putting down people on SNL.
Yeah, he's apparently a terrible person to work with.
Oh yeah, he's completely awful.
Yeah.
He's an absolute dick. There's moments in which he shows humility. He shows he's like, no, on SNL. He's like, Dan Aykroyd was the best one out of all of us.
Yeah.
Which is not really a common opinion. That's not like really a major consensus, but that's his opinion. He thinks Dan Aykroyd was the best of early SNL and everything from the mid to late 70s. But, what have you? So there's moments in which he can actually be a genuine good person. But his ego prevents that.
Yeah.
And he has a very bad ego. Community, Dan Harmon's show.
Yeah, he left after, 1 year of that?
No. So I think he's in one episode in season 5.
Okay.
So he was, for the first 5 seasons, with barely just a cameo in 5.
Yeah. Okay.
Because with Community really helped bring Chevy Chase back on the map. Because he was gone for a while.
Yeah, he was gone.
Because, in the 70s, 80s, Chevy Chase was king, and then the 90s came around, and then that's kind of a career low point for him. You didn't hear a lot from him. I mean, there were some things he was in.
I'm trying to think of a 1990s Chevy Chase movie.
Nothing But Trouble, but that's not particularly good. That's a very weird movie. That is a very weird movie. If you ever watched that,
I don't think I've seen that.
So that's a Dan Aykroyd directed movie. And it's the reason why Dan Aykroyd hasn't made anything else ever since.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's very weird. I have to explain this movie for you. So it's based on something that actually happened to Dan Aykroyd in which he was driving somewhere, like in New Jersey or it was in the New England area, and he gets pulled over by a police officer, and he's like, oh, you're speeding there or something. and and uh, and he's like, "Oh, we'll leave this ticket. We'll put this ticket aside if you come to the local judge's house and have dinner with him."
Mm-hmm.
And the police officer took him to the judge's house, and it freaked Dan Aykroyd out. He thought it was very weird, so he made a movie off of that premise.
Yeah.
And the movie is kind of like The Hills Have Eyes, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Psycho,
Okay.
but made it into a comedy. But it's not a particularly funny
Yeah,
comedy.
I've never heard of that.
And the judge character in the movie is played by Dan Aykroyd, but he doesn't look like Dan Aykroyd at all. They do very good with prosthetics to make him not look like Dan Aykroyd. I mean, the movie's not like unoriginal. There's some inventive stuff in it. Like there's a scene in which they're like at a dinner table, and there's like a choo-choo train, and the choo-choo train is going around the dinner table, and the choo-choo train has like condiments to it. So you're just like, you have like a little, you can push your hot dog, like push like ketchup and everything, and like, yeah, that's pretty neat. But then there's like a moment in the dinner scene in which his nose looks like a dick. At one moment, it looks like a penis, and Chevy Chase is like, "Wait, what?" And then it just eventually becomes normal.
Yeah.
And like, what? And everything, and it's a very weird movie, and like he ends up having hot dogs.
This bombed, right?
Yeah, this did not do well.
It's a bad movie, right?
Yeah, it's very weird, but it's not like a particularly good weird movie.
Yeah.
And it did not do well with critics, and it did not do well at the box office.
And Dan Aykroyd never directed a movie again?
No, he never did after that.
Yeah.
And Chevy Chase is in the movie. He's the lead character.
Yeah.
You have he's in it. John Candy's in it as well. And John Candy plays two characters. He plays a brother and the brother's sister.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like before Jack and Jill for Adam Sandler. And what have you. And his sister is mute. Like, she does not talk at all. She just, like, makes, like, like...
I've never heard of this.
It's a very strange movie.
I feel like I don't even want to see it. I feel like your description is enough.
It's very strange.
Yeah.
And then it gets to a point in which they escape the place, like the judge's place, and they go to the local police departments and everything, and they're like, oh, there's these terrible things happening at this like house of the local judge, and like all the SWAT team and police come, and it turns out the SWAT and police are all in on it. So it like really saves them like money and everything. To like having the judge to extrajudicial kill people and everything at his junkyard house place. It's a very strange fucking movie and everything, and it's kind of like in the vein of Hills Have Eyes, Psycho, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Very fucking weird movie. I'll show you a clip of it to show you. I'm not going to show you the whole movie, but I'll show you a clip of it after this. It's a fucking weird movie.
Yeah, we'll watch it.
And what have you. It's no Monty Python. Monty Python movies are funny.
Yeah.
It's no Monty Python. It's just fucking weird. I'm like, well, what's up with like, and when they're having dinner, they have Hawaiian Punch. That's their beverage. Yeah. And they have hot dogs, and these are great hot dogs, and everything. He's like, oh, you guys want some dogs? The Dan Aykroyd character goes. Yeah. And Dan Aykroyd's a very strange guy if you look into his history. Mm-hmm. Like his grandfather was a ghost hunter. And he wrote a book about it, and his dad did as well. Okay. And that's why, Ghostbusters is the way it is.
He wrote that, right?
Yeah, he co-wrote Ghostbusters, but the original Ghostbusters was a lot wilder. It is way stranger than what eventually came to be, because like the original Ghostbusters had them like be on the moon and travel dimensions and catch ghosts that way, but because that concept was just so like out there that they're like, we can't adapt this. Like
they made it a comedy.
Yeah, they simplified it. Like, all right, we're gonna have them in New York City and go from there and everything. Dan Aykroyd's original idea was so fucking wild. Like, we can't adapt this. It's kind of like, with the original idea for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Which the original idea for Star Wars, which it was like Han Solo was supposed to be a lizard man and everything, and and they eventually changed it to human to make it more relatable for the audiences. But I think nowadays people want to care if it was a fucking lizard man.
Yeah, lizard men, like lizards as humans are still kind of creepy.
Yeah, but like it's still like humanoid enough to kind of relate to it. It's kind of like appliance. Like I'm sure, knowing you, Jason, your childhood favorite movie must be The Brave Little Toaster.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
You never seen The Brave Little Toaster?
I know of it. I don't think I've ever watched it.
I never either, but knowing you,
yeah,
you would love a wholesome little toaster that's brave.
You're the one who thinks I'm wholesome. I never said I was wholesome.
I know.
That's just you.
And good thing you don't have too many dark jokes. You don't have a lot of you're not like me or Tim or anybody else in which.
I don't think I'm really good at writing dark jokes. To be honest, I don't think I'm good at writing dark jokes.
Didn't you have I remember you and Tim were talking about something which you were like a school shooting or mass shooting bit, and Tim really liked it, but you could never really find it to work.
It was a joke. It was a joke about how It was a joke about how they don't they don't cancel work. Like when you're a kid, they would cancel school. You always had hope they would cancel school.
Yeah.
So when you're an adult with a job, there's no hope that a snow will cancel work.
Yeah. So
the only thing you can hope for is that somebody shoots up the place you work at, but before your shift starts.
I do like
the
that.
joke was my dream is to get a text from my boss that says, "Jason, don't come in today. So and so is shooting everybody."
I actually like that idea.
I didn't drop it because I didn't.
Because it was people weren't laughing.
Oh, I think it was one of those jokes that kind of fell by the wayside.
Yeah, I do actually like that joke. I mean, Seinfeld wasn't really too dark either, but if you ever watch watch some of his because for quite a long time on Seinfeld, you always had Seinfeld doing stand-up, and then the episode would come.
Yeah.
I think towards the end of the series, he stopped doing that.
He didn't do it the last few years. No.
Yeah, I think predominantly because after Larry David left after season 7, he was too busy to make any stand-up. He became the showrunner.
I mean, it was all his old jokes from the 80s. You know what
I
mean? All the jokes he's doing in the 90s at the beginning of the show, they were from the 80s.
I wouldn't doubt that, but I think he just by season 8 and 9 he became too busy with creating the show, and the show was still funny in season 8 and 9. There was a lot of great and iconic moments in season 8 and 9. I mean, he made it more weird, more surreal.
It's clearly the show was not as good in season 8 or 9. It was too zany.
I liked it though. I mean, even before that, there are moments back with what I was talking about before with the two-parter. There are moments in earlier Seinfeld in which it's I can see them pushing it more into a zanier direction, because in season 4, even Jason Alexander, he was complaining at certain points in season 4. He's like, "Are we really going to do that?" And by everything he complained about, people loved. Critics, audiences loved. So he's like, "Who am I to say?" But at the time, he complained, and turned out he was wrong. But there's in the second part of the two-parter episode they did, which was the second part was the season 4 premiere, in which Kramer ends up becoming a murder suspect. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah. That's a little bit out there for him to be a murder suspect. Yeah. And then, and even Jason Alexander even said that. He's like, okay, Kramer's going to be a murder suspect. That's a little bit outlandish for to...
Yeah, that wasn't what they were doing at the beginning at all.
Yeah, and then in season 4, you had another moment. I think this was season 4, maybe in season 5, in which it was the marine biologist episode. Yeah. In which to tie it all together. Right. Yeah. So Kramer, he's doing his golf thing, and he's at the beach, and he ends up hitting the ball, and he ends up hitting the ball directly into a whale's blowhole. Yeah. Which is a one in a...
That's the reveal at the end.
Yeah, that's a reveal at the end. Yeah. And then, the whale ends up coming ashore, it can't breathe and everything. And, George is not a marine biologist. He's lying the whole time. The guy's know the episode or know George as a character, he's lying the fucking whole time. He's not a marine biologist. The only reason why he's
Please explain to the audience at home that George Costanza is a liar.
But the only reason why he's saying he's a marine biologist is to impress a girl, because initially she's not impressed with him.
Yeah.
She doesn't want anything to do with him. I think he went to high school with her, and she was still never impressed.
No, what happens is for some reason Jerry lies that he's a marine biologist.
Oh.
Because George is like, why didn't you say architect? Architect is the job I always say.
Yeah.
That's the job he always wants to have.
Yeah.
I can't remember why, but Jerry said he was a marine biologist.
Yeah, I think you're right. And then George,
and then he had to go with it.
Yeah, and so he's going with it and everything, and George is not a marine biologist. I mean, you guys already know it by now, but the whales washed ashore, and it can't breathe because it has Kramer's golf ball in it. So with no trainer or anything, George managed to get it out, and he pulls out the golf ball and towards the end of the episode and what have you, and it's like, okay, that is very unrealistic of how that all would come together just perfectly like that.
Yeah.
So even in like season 4, season 5, they had their absurdist like tendencies.
Yeah, but the tying in together at the end just like became their thing.
Yeah, that became, I think, in season 2 or 3. The first time they did that was the Busboy. That's when they very first did that.
Mm-hmm.
It was in the Busboy, in which you had the poor busboy that I think Kramer, Jerry, and George end up accidentally getting fired from his job, and he gets very pissed at them, and he I think finds out where they live, and he's like, "What the fuck, guys?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?" And they try to make amends for him, and then Elaine has something going on with her boyfriend, and they end up running into each other. So the A and B plans have colliding together towards the end in the third act, and they end up getting into a fight and everything.
Okay, yeah.
So that's the very first time they did that. And then after that, they're like, I kind of like how we connect the A and B plot towards the end, or A, B, or C plots. So they started going with that because they liked that. And that's really when that began, that whole process.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, they had their like kind of absurdist tendencies like in season 4 and what have you. And then so it was kind of like a logical conclusion for, Jerry to kind of push it towards that direction in 8 and 9 with, the Frogger. Because the Frogger episode's quite fun. I really like the Frogger episode.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's just real zany at the end.
Yeah,
it's not good. It's just
it's fun. It's a very fun episode, and what have you, it has from because it plays like the Frogger game, which is moving the Frogger through the traffic and everything, and it's a very fun episode. It's a good episode overall. It's not a bad one at all. And then you have the backwards episode, in which it's like it was like their trip to India and the wedding and everything, and they go backwards. Yeah. And you're like, oh. And it does actually kind of work. I mean, some people, that is the weirdest episode of Seinfeld because of how it's a non-linear episode. Because they go backwards to see, it unfolds, how did it come to be and everything. And that's not something original they, did. That was based on something like Indian Story, in which it played the story backwards and whatnot. They just did that as a homage to...
I mean, I think just doing the story backwards is just something that...
People have...
I don't think anyone invented that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know who was the first one to do it, but somebody did it before. Yeah. And, but it does make you kind of curious, how did everything come to be and whatnot? And they play it backwards. And that is, of course, the weirdest episode of Seinfeld. Some people I've heard, this one guy that used to... One of my bosses, the main grocery manager at my work, he's a big Seinfeld guy. He loves Seinfeld. He does not like that episode. He thinks that's the worst episode. And I like it. I think it's not that bad. But there's, iconic moments in 8 and 9, like Best of Us or The Rest of Us. Best of Us is, of course, a great episode. Yeah. And that's based on one of the writers that actually happened to him with his dad. Festivus was something that his dad actually came up with. Then you had the Merv Griffin show, which that's a very zany one as well. Which Kramer just stumbles upon the old the Merv Griffin show, and he managed to get everything into his apartment.
Yeah.
which is like pretty
The
big.
chicken episode is probably one of the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And it's like what's going on? And they're and like it's all bright and everything. And Kramer is Kramer is probably one of the best characters in the show. I mean, for me, I like George the best. Second is Kramer, and then third is Elaine, and then of course last is Jerry, because Jerry is the most boring one out of the four.
Well, Jerry's just he's just like not a good actor.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get all the best storylines.
Yeah.
But he
all
has good lines.
All of them are just kind of, doing
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was what was the improv line he did in which George is like, oh, keep that line open, and he had his pants down and everything. He's like, I thought you were my so and so salesman.
Oh, and you want to be my latest.
Yeah, that one. That was an improv line.
Yeah. If you watch the show, you can almost tell what's a Seinfeld line and what's a Larry David line.
Yeah.
Like once you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, you realize what is a Larry David line.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's like, I'm a shorter. I'm not a cutter. Or no, a cutter, because it had to do something with a line, and he's like, oh, you're a cutter, and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's another one in which he's like, I prefer short talk rather than long talk. Oh, stop and chat. That's the word he used.
Oh, stop and chat.
Yeah, from like season 3 or 2,
Okay, yeah.
That was from. Yeah, you can tell like what's a Larry David line and what's like a Jerry Seinfeld line.
Yeah.
And what have you. And it's great shit. And what have you. I do have a newer joke. I've done it twice already. And Jerry Jaffe, my mentor, who I consider a mentor, and this is not a pun of where he lives at, which is Mentor, Ohio.
Oh, that is true.
Mentor. Yeah, Mentor.
They don't pronounce that T. Mentor.
All right.
I got yelled at once at Toth's place.
Yeah, I think, what's his name? I forget his name.
By not like the audience. The audience was like, it's.
Yeah, there's a guy, I haven't seen him in forever. He did comedy, and he used to do comedy in Portland at that one place. Michael Kolenich? Or.
Michael Kolenich? Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Mike do comedy in years, but he's a funny guy.
I think I'm thinking of a different guy. Didn't he do like Andy Kaufman kind of shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking of somebody else. Yeah, it's a different Michael.
Michael Copenhaver?
Yes, Copenhaver. In which he corrected me once. He's like, it's Mentor, not Mentor. He corrected me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in forever. Last time I think I saw him was at my workplace at John Eagle. Because he came in, he's come in a few times. Of everyone that I've done comedy with, the only person I see at my workplace often is Eric Lewis. He comes in there pretty much every week, and I see him all the time.
Yeah, I'm never in your area.
Yeah, and so I've only 2 people I've seen that do comedy at my workplace is Eric Lewis and Michael Copenhaver. Obviously, Eric Lewis I've seen the most because he does liquor and everything.
Yeah.
And
he was there on work, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so he's always there and everything.
Yeah.
And what have you. But Jerry, back with my joke. Jerry's like, this is a very Vaughn joke, and everything. It is kind of like back what I was telling you. I would think the twist first, but like I'll start thinking of a twist and I'll try to morph it and everything. And but I'll tell you the joke, and I'll see your opinion. It got laughs
on stage.
I've done it twice on stage.
Okay.
LVT and the Daily Press, and I posted on Facebook. And you probably didn't see it on Facebook. I'll tell you the joke, and this will be on the record as well in case anybody steals this.
This is what
on the record.
Hey everybody, on what's the date? July 23rd, 2026.
Yeah.
If anyone does this joke after this date, you stole it from Vaughn.
And if you want to continue to do it, you have to pay me $100.
That's just 100?
Yeah.
Every time they do it, or
if they want to have it, it's $100.
This joke is so good you're worried about it being stolen, but then you would just give it away for $100 single dollars.
Like if I was desperate.
Just 100?
Only if I was desperate. for money. That's the only reason. Well, I'll tell you the joke anyways. Let's get to it.
Okay.
The joke is, my grandma walked in on me naked once. I panicked, so I covered my genitals with my pet chameleon. That didn't work because he just blended in.
Yeah, you told that at Cork and Cap, right?
I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I did not.
I thought you did.
I did not. You may have seen it on Facebook.
Maybe I did. Maybe I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah. Because I thought about that. I thought about the basis of that joke Friday night. Because sometimes I'm like this. I'll be in my bed over there. I'll be laying down. I'll be thinking of shit. And what have you. And I'll be thinking of like very specific like twists for jokes. Like, what can I do for a twist? And I thought about like a chameleon joke. And there has been chameleon jokes. So like the one drummer, former drummer for Kill Tony, has a pretty great chameleon joke in which he said that he's like I have a chameleon infestation, but there's no way of telling, which is a solid joke. Yeah. And then Marty Malloy has a chameleon joke in which he goes, it's something like there is no way of telling of how many chameleons they are. And in case the audience doesn't get it, he always adds like because they blend in.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I need to do a chameleon joke. And so just thinking of shit. And of course, like the human body is a part of my act. I do bring that up, the human body, particularly when it comes out of the sexual. But this is not really a sexual joke. This is more just embarrassment.
Yeah.
And so I thought about that. I'm like, what if like. At first, I was thinking, like, the girl had, like, a chameleon. She was trying to cover her tits.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they could be, like, too big. So I was thinking, like, a penis. That would work better because it covered that, but then it'll just blend in.
Did the chameleon become penis colored?
It would just blend in so it looks like it's my penis.
Yeah, so the chameleon just looks like more penis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just blends in, just copies what everything looks like down there. And I do I haven't done enough to see if this will work. The original joke works, but I've kind of been playing with a tag for it, in which it's like, he made it smaller. I don't like that, or something.
Actually, if anything, it would be big. Like it would look like you have like an amphibious, larger penis.
Yeah, maybe.
Or reptilian.
Yeah.
Is a chameleon a reptile or an amphibian?
It's a reptile.
Okay.
I believe they're a reptile. I will Google that after this podcast.
I mean, there's like you could do a pun on erectile and reptile. Like
that's Jason. You came up with it. You do it in your act.
I don't need. I don't think a reptile dysfunction is clearly not like an original joke.
Maybe. There's a possibility. I mean, you have your Hardee's joke. That's the one pun I know you have in your set.
Oh, that's part of the frog joke.
Yeah, that's one. Maybe, Jason. Yeah. If you want to follow that with the frog joke after the erectile.
I'm never saying erectile reptile. I'm never saying that.
Okay.
That's yours to possibly use as a tag.
Okay. But there was another time in which it was at when they were doing a comedy show at Barlucci in Kent. They don't do that place closed down because the owner of it. I thought they were a married couple, the guy and the girl that ran.
I don't remember them
because I thought they were a couple. But it turns out they were not a couple. They were just friends, and the woman was married. Because this is according to Anthony Savet, what he told me. And Anthony doesn't have a Facebook anymore, so I can't really double check with him. He told me this earlier this year at Toast Place, because he ended up headlining Toast Place earlier this year. That was the last time I saw him. But he told me that, because I asked him about Bartolucci, and he's like, I guess the guy that ran the place, he was either trying to fuck or he was fucking the girl, the woman there, but she was married and everything. And I think he was trying to get with her.
Yeah.
And everything. And also, I think he had drug issues as well, according to Harrison.
Yeah.
Because he had like a drug-fueled mishap.
Yeah.
So, of course, business went down and everything. But, I remember one time at Barlucci, you were going on about a joke in which it was like, oh, back when I was younger, they said like, oh, if you have a earring in your left ear, that means you're gay.
Oh yeah.
You're going on about that joke, which reminded me of a joke that a comedian I like, an Australian comedian, in which he does a long bit about gay people.
Yeah.
Well, not just about like gay adjacent, like
Yeah.
everything. It's not like, oh, these gay people and everything. And when he did that, that got me thinking. I'm like, a part of that joke he does, in which he mentions that, like, I think I can rework all that and make something original with my own original punchline.
Yeah.
Which is not stealing if you make an original punchline to a joke. If you get like
it's just the same like topic.
Yeah, but you make
it's like the same topic is not joke stealing. It's it's just the same topic or observation.
Yeah.
Or same,
Yeah, like guitarists do that all the time, in which they're like, oh, I really like this riff, but I'm going to mutate and bend it and everything and make it my own. And that's what I did with Steve Hughes' joke. It's a longer bit, but he goes in the bits in which, I think you'll probably tell which joke of mine it comes from, but I, of course, made it into my own. In which he goes, he's like, I was in England, and there's this bloke said something very strange to me. He said, he's like, in England, if you wear an earring in your left ear, that means you're gay. It's like, see, in Australia, it's when you stick your cock up another man's ass.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you know what joke that comes from, but of course with mine, my Texas joke, I completely change everything, and I have my own original punchline, which instead of like stick up his ass, it's blowing a dude.
Yeah.
And everything. And the blow a dude line, that was not originally like written down. I had something else. I think it was sucking his dick.
Yeah.
How that came to be was that I tried it out on Daily Press this one time. It was my first time trying it, and I didn't memorize the joke at all. I had a basis of it in my head, and I usually practice my jokes beforehand if I'm doing a new one.
Yeah.
And so I'm saying it, and just out of the moment, it was a sphere of moments I said, blow a dude.
Yeah.
And then it just came out like that, just a spur of moment thing. And like, I think I like that better than sucking, blow a dude.
Yeah, sucking a dick, that's a harsh turn of phrase. Like, just to say sucking dick, it's just a harsh turn of phrase.
Yeah. And also, like, blow a dude's a bit cleaner as well. Yeah. It's not, like, as kind of graphic as, like, sucking dick. It's, a little bit more cleaner. And
it's like, what do you think is the funniest term for a penis?
Dick.
I think it's wiener.
I think
wiener is wiener is the silliest term. Dick is dick is funny, but it's a bit verging on.
Yeah.
Cock is too harsh. You know what I mean?
I don't like this conversation you're bringing up.
Just, you know what I mean? Because you know what I mean?
You need to do this as a bit, Jason. I've never seen you do anything sexual in your bit.
Penis is too clinical. Cock is too harsh. Wiener's light.
He's doing a stand-up right now.
I'm not just. Rod is creepy. who the fuck says Rod?
See, Jason
Johnson? No one says that.
You gotta do that as a bit. I'm liking this. I'm liking this concept you're going on about right now.
Well, it's because I do the glory rhombus joke, and I usually say stick your wiener in a glory rhombus.
Yeah.
I think
wiener's funnier.
I just think wiener is inherently funny.
Yeah. Yeah, but for my joke with that, instead of like earring in the left ear, I say curly hair, which is not a basis of anything. That's not based off of anything that's true. Yeah. Like there's like, oh, curly hair men are gay or anything. That's not a basis of anything true. I think the reason why I put that in there is because I came across a video somebody shared on Facebook in which there's a valedictorian. He was because he was not allowed to mention he was gay on stage, so he ended up doing a euphemism in which he was describing being gay with his curly hair and whatnot, and that's where I got that from. But either or, like curly hair making you gay or your ear in your left ear making you gay, it's stupid. And it's like it's stupid anyways. Even if it's like based on like a homophobic thing or not, it's stupid. So it really doesn't matter. But that's how I made that my own and everything. everything. And that's kind of like Zach Wilde. I saw him on a podcast with the guy from Suicide Silence, Garza. And they're talking about, because Zach Wilde's most known for joining Ozzy Osbourne as a guitarist. You know who Zach Wilde is?
I know.
But yeah, he joined Ozzy Osbourne because Ozzy Osbourne has had a bunch of guitarists.
Yeah.
Randy Rhoads was the first. Then after Randy died in the plane accident, Jakey Lee came, and then Jakey Lee then leaving. I forget why. I think there was differences between him and Ozzy. But at 19 years old, Zach Wilde got the dream gig. He got Ozzy. And they're doing the next album. I forget the next album. The first album he did with Ozzy. But the first song off of it is Miracle Man. And Garza's talking to him. He's like, so you come in doing Miracle Man. And like, did you have a riff? Did you come up with a riff? And Zach Wilde starts playing the Foxy Lady riff. And he's like, it's Foxy Lady. He changed a bunch of things and everything. He made it faster. He changed a bunch of things to make it his own.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's like what you have to do. Is like, he's like, music is like basically ingredients. Like it's like cooking. Like you learn how to cook and everything, and you have all these ingredients, and you just like twist and bend and everything, and make it your own.
Yeah. I always wonder, like with music, I'm like, haven't we run out of every melody?
Yeah.
Like, haven't we done, like, isn't there nothing left?
Yeah.
Like, it feels like there should be nothing left, right?
And, but the people find a way, as Jeff Goldblum says. Life finds a way, but this is people find a way.
I guess.
This is my play on that. People find a way. But yeah, that's what Zach Wilde said. He's like, it's just Foxy Lady. He just changed a bunch of things about it to make it his own, make it original. And it sounds like an 80s riff. That riff he came up with that came from Foxy Lady, it sounds like an 80s riff, so he kind of updated it and everything. I mean, the fingering and everything. Like, even before he openly acknowledged, like, it's Foxy Lady, people pointed out, like, that sounds like Foxy Lady, only just sped up and everything, and he eventually revealed, like, oh, it's Foxy Lady. He just changed a shit ton of it out. It's like, there's a skeleton of the, like, I saw something else, like, there's a skeleton of something, and you see that skeleton, and it's like, all right, how do I make this my own? And you just change a bunch of shit about it and everything, and then you make it your own. And what have you. I don't know if you've done that with any jokes in which you've seen a comic do a joke, and you're like, oh, that's a funny joke. But I want to have my own punchline. I'm not going to steal their punchline. I want to just change a bunch of shit and just, make something my own.
I don't think I've ever, like, tried to do a spin on another person, on another joke.
I mean, that's fine. You do what you want. I know.
I mean, I've had jokes where, and like, like another comedian has something that is slightly similar. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I don't ever, like, that's not like a launching off point. You know what I mean? That's not a starting point. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I do that. Sometimes I just think of shit, of like punchlines, like twists and everything. I do that sometimes. I do a launching off point of somebody else's joke, but make it my own, and everything, and also like Zach Wilde pointed out that even in Black Sabbath days, they did that as well, in which he says that the main riff for Nib from Sabbath's first album, the main riff for that comes from the main riff of Cream, "Sunshine of Your Love." And what have you, and so and Cream was a big influence on Black Sabbath. And I mean, if you didn't know this, blues rock and blues music in general is a foundational element of heavy metal. If you didn't know that,
I'm not a heavy metal guy.
That's why you have me as a friend.
Yeah, I don't know. I never got into heavy metal.
It's all good.
Yeah,
but blues music and blues rock are foundations for heavy metal.
Yeah,
that's where all the satanic stuff comes from.
I think a lot of people I know who are big heavy metal fans, they seem to also like classical music.
Well, really, everything comes from classical.
No, but I'm saying they seem to be fans of both.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of metalheads are dynamic. They listen to everything. Yeah. I listen to everything as well. I like jazz. Yeah. I like rap. I like pop. I like some great pop songs. I get fucking Down with Sexy Back by Justin Timberlake. That's a great fucking song. Yeah. That's a great song.
I hated that when it first came out.
Maybe it's grown on you now.
I think it has a little bit. I still don't love that song, but it was. I think it was really annoying. I think
Probably because it was everywhere. And
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it was.
And that can happen. Like overexposure to things can make you hate that. And
yeah, there are movies that I hated when they first came out, and now they're like, it's like, oh, that's like strangely nostalgic.
Yeah, and you like it and everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's kind of happened. I mean, it's kind of dying down right now, but that's kind of happened with Sydney Sweeney, and when she became everywhere.
Just her as a person.
Well, yeah, her as a person, she just became everywhere with.
Like, I feel like I had the hots for Sydney Sweeney before she was like.
Yeah, she blew up. Yeah. Yeah, she's always been an attractive woman and everything.
It just became like now.
She became everywhere and everything, and I mean, mostly because of that Nike ad. But you know that whole fucking controversy was stupid.
What was it?
The people were trying to make a claim because the ad was essentially a pun, in which it was saying that Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
I thought that was American Eagle.
Oh yeah, American Eagle, not Nike. Yeah. Sorry, that's shoes Nike.
Yeah.
Shows what I know.
No, yeah. Who cares?
Yeah, but American Eagle. They did that, and they were like, Sydney Sweeney has great genes, which is just, playing on that. She's good looking, she's hot. But people were trying to say, like, oh, she's blonde and has blue eyes. They're trying to make Nazi stuff.
Yeah,
and it's like, really? And then there's people that were seriously trying to, argue that. They were like, it's like, well, in political climates like this, corporations will try to kind of lean into like the extreme and everything. But I'm like, what basis are you going off of that?
Yeah,
it's stupid.
Yeah,
and everything. And I mean, I think with the American Eagle ad, I think that really made her mainstream. I mean, she's been in mainstream stuff before that, but I think that really blew her up. That made her put her everywhere.
Yeah.
And I mean, I knew about her before that ad because I followed.
She was in, like White Lotus.
I've heard of that movie. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, what TV show? But yeah.
She's in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She plays one of the Manson girls.
Yeah. And that was like a star-studded cast, like before they were stars.
Oh yeah, that was that. Yeah, a lot of people that became a lot of young people that became very big hitters. That had her, Austin Butler.
It had the girl that was in, I don't know, the movie that won the Oscar. I don't like. About the prostitute.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to think of her name.
Mickey something.
Yeah.
And had her and Ethan Hawke's kid.
Maya Hawke.
Yeah.
But I think by 2019, Maya Hawke, season 3 of Stranger Things just dropped because she first appeared in season 3 of Stranger Things. So I think that was actually quite a great moment.
Yeah, she's also the kid of 2 celebrities. So it wasn't a stretch that she would have a good career.
Yeah, and have connections because her mom's done like 3 Tarantino movies, so it wasn't really that hard for her to become
in that movie.
Yeah, get in a Tarantino movie.
Yeah,
even though it was like a small part because she has a small part in that movie. It's not like a big part at all. Yeah, Mickey Madison.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, Mickey Madison. Which she gets the short end of the stick in that movie.
She was good in that.
Yeah, she does a great job in that movie. Even though
if you look up, she looks like the real person a little bit too.
Even though she's not Asian at all, because she kind of looks Asian, but she's not Asian.
She does look a little Asian.
Yeah, but she's not Asian at all. She's
like
she's Jewish, I believe, and then something else.
Yeah. Tim Wolf hates that movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I can understand people not liking it. It is one of weaker Tarantino movies.
I feel like he made that movie just for himself.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
I feel like he
jacking himself off.
I know. I feel like he was just like, I love 60s Hollywood, and so I'm making a movie set in there.
I do agree. Like along with Death Proof, those are 2 of his weaker movies. But despite them being weaker movies,
I like Death Proof. I think the end is dumb, but like I actually think it's a very underrated movie.
Oh, that's good. I like it. Good job.
I just think it got too cartoony at the end.
I like the ending when they beat the shit out of them.
I just felt like that wasn't if it wasn't like that didn't jive with the rest of the movie. I didn't think.
I mean,
Why like these characters are just suddenly just gonna willy-nilly like murder someone. It was Tarantino being like, "Oh, we have to have revenge for this character," but it just didn't jive with the character.
I mean, I think those characters, those last group of girls, I think they had, I think particularly the one that Rosario Dawson plays. I think she had like prior experience, like she had training or something. So which kind of gave her like an edge to basically go toe to toe with Kurt Russell's character and everything. And it's like, oh, he fucked with the wrong group of girls, basically.
Yeah, it just didn't like. I feel like Tarantino delighting in revenge is his weakest quality as a filmmaker.
Yeah,
but I'm sure it's his favorite thing about himself.
Yeah.
So like,
I mean, Django Unchained is a great revenge movie. I think out of his, I mean, I do prefer part 1 of Kill Bill over part 2. I do like part 2.
Kill Bill is my least. Kill Bill Volume 1 is my least favorite Tarantino. Like I don't. It's
personally
my least favorite.
Personally, I prefer part 1 over part 2. I do like part 2, but I like part 1 better.
Yeah, I don't like it was. Yeah, I don't.
And of course, that's like a revenge movie. I think his best revenge movie probably has to be Django Unchained. Django Unchained is really solidly good.
I think there's a lot of good parts of that movie. It's like he's very disjointed in his revenge era.
Yeah.
And I think it's because he's so attached to like really loving revenge.
Yeah.
That it sacrifices from the rest of the movie.
Yeah, it's sacrifices like plot.
Like it's like strangely childish. Like I feel like an 18-year-old would be like, all right, what if a Jewish person got control and made a film and said to Hitler, I'm gonna kill you. Like, you know what I mean?
Glorious Bastards, yeah.
Yeah, like when she comes on the movie theater screen.
Just...
Yeah, like when she puts herself on the movie theater, that feels like something an 18-year-old would write. I feel like I would have written that when I was 16.
Yeah.
Like, what if, you know what I mean? And I feel like it takes away from so many other parts of that movie, which are like parts of Inglourious Bastards, I think, are like the height of cinema.
Oh yeah,
like the whole scene in the basement of the tavern,
and
that 20 minutes, whatever it is, like
first,
that's and then also the first scene in the movie. That's among like the best filmmaking ever. I think like that's such good. I think he undercuts it with like this childish revenge. You know?
Well, you do like what you like.
Like
you like what you like. I can't.
It's like 60 years after the World War II, we're still doing this like delighting in murdering Nazis like it's a Warner Brothers like Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's like, all right, cool, I guess, but like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, World War II. Out of all the wars in history, World War II has the most fucking films about it.
I mean, it is World War II has been done to death.
Yeah, it is.
There is a very clear like World War II fatigue. Like we have enough movies on.
Yeah,
we have enough. Like do another. I mean,
I can understand why Tarantino did Inglourious Bastards. It does make sense as a companion piece to Django Unchained because basically both movies do deal with racism. With Inglourious Bastards is anti-Semitism. That's a type of racism it deals with, and then with Django Unchained it deals with anti-black racism.
I just feel like the movies are like disjointed, like almost thematically and stylistically.
Yeah, also makes a good thing for a companion piece because Christoph Waltz is in both of them.
Yeah,
he plays a villain, of course, in Inglourious Bastards, but he plays the supporting protagonist in Django Unchained, in which he gets killed in the middle of the movie.
Yeah. I think his best movie might be The Hateful Eight. I think it's definitely his most flawless movie.
Huh? Yeah, I've seen it once, and I did like it. I did like The Hateful Eight and what have you. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, there are a lot of great moments in that movie. Now, that movie is one of the weaker ones of Tarantino.
I like that movie a lot, but you have to like. I like the '60s as a setting. I love it.
Yeah, I do.
I love it visually, and you almost have to like the setting to like that movie.
Yeah.
Like half the movie is if you like that era.
Yeah.
Which I do. I like watching the 60s stylistically.
Yeah, I do like a lot of moments in that movie as well. It's overall a good movie. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
For me, it's weaker of his movies. I mean, I think if it was directed by a lesser director, like somebody that was like mediocre, I think it would be a bad movie. But
it wouldn't even happen. No one else would be allowed to make that movie.
Yeah, because
they would be forced to cut that movie down to 90 minutes long.
Yeah, but But I would say the highest point of that movie is that fucking last act with like killing the Manson family. It has a great ending. Yeah, that is a great ending. I think that really kind of makes. I mean, if you had issues with the movie, like in the beginning or the middle movie, I think that really makes up for it. It's like very cathartic, and Tarantino, when it comes down to violence, is very cathartic because he really delivers
violence well.
Oh yeah, he makes it very cathartic because it's like, oh, finally, because throughout Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, once you see Charles Manson, you're like, oh, Charles Manson, and then you go to the Manson family, and then when you get to Sharon Tate and to begin with, I should say, starting with Sharon Tate to begin with, you're like, uh-oh, what's going to happen here? Yeah. And you're expecting she's going to get murdered and everything, and then, he ends up doing what he did in Glorious Bastards, in which he did his historical revisionism, which it's like, oh, it changes plans and they end up going to the wrong person's house. Yeah. And that is just a so fucking great scene. I love seeing Brad Pitt's character, Cliff Booth, just beat the shit out of all them. He's a great character. It's almost like his character from Inglourious Bastards grew up a little. Like it's almost like he's more subdued.
Like I would almost like if Tarantino's last movie was taking Brad Pitt's character in Inglourious Bastards and just seeing what he's doing in 30 years later, that almost was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah. Have you read the book for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? I have not. Have you? I have not. I've looked at some things about it and what have you. I read the first maybe 10 pages of it. From Amazon, I was in Barnes & Noble one day, killing time, probably before a comedy show. Ah, cool. Yeah. Was that by Toast Place? No, I don't know where I was. But I know the book came after the movie, which is rare for that to happen. Oh, he didn't write them in tandem? Nope. I thought he wrote them in tandem. I think it was released after the movie. I don't think in the same year. I think it came out in either 2020 or 2021. But he didn't write the book while he was writing the screenplay? I don't know. He may have wrote them at the same time, but the book came out after the movie. Yeah. Which usually doesn't happen. The book comes and then the movie, but and the book you get. It just reminded me of Bart reading the novelization of Itchy and Scratchy the movie because Homer won't let him see the movie. That's just and what have you, and I remember there was a moment in in the book of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you get a lot more. You get a lot more information and whatnot. So it's revealed in the book. It's not really much said. It's said a little bit in the movie. Mm-hmm. It's revealed that Cliff Booth, Brad Pitt's character, he's a World War II veteran. Yeah. And that makes sense with it. It's set in 1969, right? Yeah, that's when the Sharon Tate murders happened. Yeah, it makes sense that character would be. Yeah, he was a World War II veteran, similar to his character in Inglourious Bastards. Yeah, it almost is that character age. But it's different theater. He was in the Pacific Theater, and with his character, it goes on in his backstory in World War II. And in World War II, he was in the Philippines. He got captured because we had bases in the Philippines, and the Japanese came along and they, took over Philippines. They defeated us when we were initially stationed there and everything. And he was one of the people that were captured. And you had the infamous, the March of Tears or something like that. Which I don't know what that is. But yeah. It was like a march of American soldiers that died and everything. Mm-hmm. So like a Japanese camp. Okay. And in World War II, you did not want to get captured by the Japanese. Yeah. They were just nihilistically cruel. Yeah. And what have you.
and just fighting them in general were like I would say objectively, not to go off topic here, but objectively, I would say the Japanese were worse than the Nazis when it came down to war crimes because they were just like a nihilistic death cult that did not care about any life whatsoever, not even their own or their own people.
Yeah.
Only for their kind of for the emperor, you know, the emperor at the time basically had no power. It was all the military doing it. As Hirohito, that was the emperor of Japan at the time. Oh, this is dying down my iPad. I'm going to charge it a bit.
Okay. We've been talking a while.
Yeah, we have been.
It's like a Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah.
All right, we should wrap it up pretty soon.
Yeah.
We'll land the plane here.
Yeah. Yeah, that works out. It's a little bit.
Got it?
Yeah, it's charging.
All right, we'll land the plane here.
Yeah, in 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Because this is. Oh, yeah, it's close to 2 hours.
Yeah.
This is longer than Tim's.
Yeah, what do you want to end it with, Vaughn? What do you want to end it with?
I'll finish up what I was saying.
Yeah, finish it up.
So, in Once Upon a Time, a Hollywood book, Brad Pitt's character, Cliff Booth, he gets captured in World War II when the Japanese invaded the Philippines and captured a bunch of American soldiers and so forth. And he ends up escaping from the prison, which, good on him, because I would not want to be in a Japanese prison during that time. He ends up escaping, and he ends up joining one of the most underrated groups in World War II, which was the Filipino Resistance. He joins the Filipino...
I haven't heard of that, but...
Yeah, in the Philippines, there was a Filipino Resistance, in which they were very instrumental in helping kick the Japanese off of the Philippines. And then we eventually came there, and we helped them out as well.
Yeah, my grandfather was in the Philippines.
During World War II?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Japanese Resistance. Not the Filipino Resistance.
Yeah.
Different group.
Yeah.
But the Filipino Resistance, he joined the Filipino Resistance, and, you know, he fought the Japanese and what have you. And then it also explains in the book what happened with his wife. Because you just see a short flashback of his wife arguing on the boat, and him having a heart.
I remember that.
Yeah, because he was married and what have you, and that was like kind of a mystery in the movie with people talking like, oh, did he murder his wife and everything? But it's revealed in the book it was an accident. He accidentally shot his wife with a harpoon.
Okay.
Or something like that. And so it wasn't on purpose, but like in the Bruce Lee flashback, that's brought up. People are like, "Oh, did he murder?"
Oh, right, yeah.
Like, oh, this guy, he's supposed to.
I need to rewatch that movie. I'll read the book first.
But the Bruce Lee scene, which is very controversial because it makes Bruce Lee look like an asshole and everything, and it's not entirely far off.
Was he an asshole? Was Bruce Lee? I don't know. I don't know much about Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee was.
I'm not really like those like what's it called, like karate movies.
I've only seen Return of the Dragon. That's the only Bruce Lee movie I've seen.
I never got into that.
But there's
like that.
But within that scene, essentially, with the Bruce Lee was known for not liking American stuntmen. He did not like American stuntmen because they didn't go all out compared to a Hong Kong stuntman. Hong Kong stuntman, they really fought.
Yeah.
But with American stuntman, they held back.
Yeah.
They didn't really go all out. But with Hong Kong stuntman, they went all out, which is where Bruce Lee started off in Hong Kong, and so he didn't like American stuntman because of that reason. And so in this scene, they're fighting and everything. They do the three rounds, and Cliff Booth, he wants to see what Bruce Lee's fighting style is all about. Yeah. And Bruce Lee, remind you, Bruce Lee was a tournament style fighter, so there was restrictions on what they could do, and they couldn't go all out and whatnot. And tournaments are very restricted. Like if you go out of the box and you get your opponent gets a point and everything, they're very restricted on what you can do. You can't go all out and what have you. So it really restricts the fighter's abilities. Yeah. And what have you. So Bruce Lee was really great at tournament style. And so he wanted to see what Bruce Lee was all about. So he let Bruce Lee hit him. Because he wanted to get a sense of what his style was.
Yeah.
And then he's like, all right, try that again, Kato. And, he tries to kick him, and then he grabs his leg, and just, smashes him against the car door. And it's like, oh, it's on now. And then the third time, which they didn't get to finish the fight at all because of the one wife that was the wife of the director of this episode, because they were trying to film the Green Hornet when they had doing their friendly competition and everything, and the wife of the director came in and was like, what the fuck's going on and everything, and what have you. So they, the third time, they really started going at it and everything, and in a tournament style battle between the both of them, Bruce Lee would win. Because, he's very good at the tournament style fight. But one-on-one in the street brawl, Cliff Booth would win. Because he's a World War II veteran. He killed Japanese people. He fought in the Filipino resistance. He just going one-on-one. And also, it's also said in the book in which Bruce Lee, because you don't get, characters' perspective in movies. You just see their reactions and everything. Unless it's, what they're thinking. And you just hear without their mouth moving, they're thinking of something, and it's audio and everything. You get that sometimes in movies, but not a lot.
Voiceover is actually pretty rare.
Yeah, but in books you get their perspective, what they're thinking.
That's what books do best.
And and in the book you get how when they I think when they sparred for the third time for the third round, and when how Brad Pitt's his stances. Bruce Lee thinks himself, oh, he's a killer. How his stance is, he's a killer and everything.
Yeah.
Because, he's a World War II veteran and everything. And, they went all out. They didn't restrict themselves at all. And, what have you. But, Cliff Booth would reasonably win in just a straight-up fight like that. No restrictions or anything. But in a tournament-style fight, Bruce Lee would win. Because he was great at doing that. So, that's some part. And then there's a part in which, it was Leonardo DiCaprio's character in which they get down with one of their scenes with a Western that they did. And it was the little girl that was there, like, that was the best thing ever. And he starts crying and everything. Which is a great moment. That was a very great moment in that movie.
Yeah.
And I guess after that scene, and this is not even in the movie at all, it's in the book. It's 20 pages of this, in which they go out to a bar. Him and I think Cliff Booth or somebody else, they go out to the bar together, and they, drink it up and everything. But that's not in the movie at all.
Oh, okay. I might read the book.
So there's moments in the book that's like, oh, this didn't happen in the movie, because he had more freedom to do that.
Right, yeah.
Because, in the movie, it's pacing. You have to have good pacing in the movie.
Yeah,
and,
but that's a slowly paced movie.
Yeah, it is a slowly paced movie, but
that's why I say he was making that movie for himself, because he's just enjoying being in '60s Hollywood.
Yeah, because really Hollywood. I mean, there was great movies before late '60s, but really in the late '60s is really when things started getting going with Hollywood.
Yeah, the '70s was a golden age.
Yeah, that was the golden age, and that's when you could really people went hog wild what they could do, and I mean there was a moment in the '70s in which people were thinking you could have A-list celebrities in pornos. That was a possibility. People really thought about that happening.
Yeah. Which
is why Bob Guccione sliced porn in Caligula.
What?
That's why Bob Guccione put porn in Caligula. Because Bob Guccione wanted to make the first movie porno.
I don't know Caligula. What is that?
I have it.
We don't have time to watch
it. I know. Well, it's very long, particularly the new cut. The new cut's very long.
This is the movie from the '60s?
79.
Okay.
And, Caligula, before we leave. Because Jason, it's already past 10 o'clock. It's 10:21. I mean, me and Jason will probably kick the shit after this. He's probably not going to leave immediately after this, but after I
am getting pretty tired.
We'll see. But anyways, so Caligula was is a historical movie. It was written by Gore Vidal.
Okay.
I'm sure you kind of know who that is. Gore
Yeah, he's
Vidal.
a historian.
Yeah, he's a historian and he's an American writer as well. And he wrote the movie. He wrote the screenplay for it, and then a Italian avant-garde director who's still alive, but health-wise he's not doing well. He had like dementia and everything. A guy named Tinto Brass. He directed the movie.
Okay.
He was an avant-garde Italian director,
Mm-hmm.
so he has like a very artsy kind of vibe to him.
Yeah.
And the money man was Bob Guccione, who if you guys don't know who Bob Guccione is, he's no longer around. But Bob Guccione, he produced movies beforehand. He did Chinatown, which is a great movie, and I've seen it. And then he also, so I haven't seen this. It's with Burt Russell. It's The Longest Yard. He produced that.
The Longest Yard, yeah.
I haven't seen that, but it's on my list.
They remade it.
Yeah, it's on my list, that movie. But he produced Caligula. He was the money man for that. But his claim to fame was not for being a movie producer. His claim to fame was being the founder of Penthouse magazine.
Okay.
And I mean, Tinto or Gore Vidal were they were no prudes. Like Tinto did some softcore kind of porno, which is like they're not really doing anything. Yeah. You don't see penetration or anything. It's kind of like it looks like they're doing something, but they're not really.
Yeah.
And he did stuff kind of like that. And Gore Vidal, if you look in Gore Vidal's writings, he was no prude. Mm-hmm. He was no prude. He was a very openly bisexual guy.
Yeah, he was gay. I thought he was gay, right?
He was bisexual. I mean, he leaned towards more men than women, but he was bi, essentially. Yeah. And so they weren't prudes. And the cast of the movie, the cast has Malcolm McDowell as Caligula. He was Caligula in the movie.
Mm-hmm. That's a great Caligula.
Yeah. Mostly because of Clockwork Orange. Yeah. I think that's the major reason why he got that part.
Yeah.
Because of Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
And he did a great job in that movie. Particularly with the Ultimate Cut, which came out a few years ago, which is the best cut of that movie. It had him, Helen Mirren, and Peter O'Toole. Mr. Lawrence of Arabia himself is in it. He's not in it that long, but he is in it in the beginning. He does play a central part of the movie, even though he's not in it the whole time.
Yeah.
And John Gielgud's also in it, who's another British actor. He was on Murder on the Orient Express.
Okay.
In that movie. I haven't seen it, but I know it's a Sidney Lumet movie. But, so, yeah, they have everything going good for them. I mean, Tinto and Gore Vidal, they end up getting arguments and everything. And, I mean, ultimately what happened was that what really broke them apart, their working relationship, is that Gore Vidal said in the interview, he's like, directors are leeches to the screenwriter and everything. They ruin screenplays and everything. Mm-hmm. And so it was just a fucking big ego battle between them. They both have a very big ego, and they can't really work together. Compared to Coppola and Puzo, they had a great working relationship. Yeah, they made two of the greatest movies of all time. Part 1 and Part 2 of Godfather. So they had a great working relationship, those two. But these two, they did not. They had too big of egos. Everything was good. They filmed a bunch of the movie, and they also had the art director of it was Danilo Donati, who he did the art.
Heard of him.
He's an Italian guy. He did the art direction for Silo, The 120 Days of Sodom, which you can kind of see that with Caligula.
I've heard of that.
That's a good movie. It's based on a very bad book, but it's a good movie. It's not for the squeamish though, I should say. But other one he did, you may have seen it, Flash Gordon. He did the art direction for Flash Gordon. So you got some things to do.
Apparently.
But anyways, so before we wrap this up, so everything was going good. They filmed a bunch of it and everything, but as you guys kind of probably expect from what I said before, Bob Guccione sabotaged it because Bob Guccione, his vision of the film was making a porno with A-list celebrities in it, and that's exactly what he did.
Helen Mirren, I don't even know if she looks like young.
She's quite attractive young.
Yeah.
Now, the porno did not involve any of the actors at all.
Okay.
Malcolm McDowell, Helen Mirren, it did not involve any of them. It involved his penthouse pets. Because even during filming with the actual actors, the penthouse pets were there. And the reason for that is because Bob Guccione didn't think any of the Italian girls that they had in the movie were that good looking. He's like, I don't really like them. But my penthouse pets, they are good looking. So he got his penthouse pets flow down to Italy.
Yeah.
And everything. And so after they were filming and everything, he used stages and everything to film the extra scenes, which were hardcore porn, just straight up porn with the penthouse pets. I mean, 8 to 10 minutes of that stuff is put in the original version that he came out with, original Caligula. Though there's hours of it. I've heard there's hours of porno footage he filmed, so it's not like it's at 8 to 10 minutes. It's a lot more, and it's really unknown where that is at, and what have you. But yeah, that's when it came out, when the movie came out, this is the only movie, one of the very few movies that Roger Ebert gave no stars for.
Oh yeah,
he gave no stars for this movie at all.
That's hilarious.
And he walked out on it during the movie and everything. He walked out, like he couldn't sit through anymore.
Yeah,
and what have you. And basically,
that's probably in his book.
Yeah.
I got that book from the library, but I probably didn't read that one because I never even heard of the movie.
Yeah, Bill Hader came across. He got that book, and he because his grandfather or somebody was a cinephile, and he was going through that book, and it was like one of the very few movies that had like no stars for it. And he's like, "Oh, I really want to check this out," and he read some things about it and what have you. But the new cut for the movie, the ultimate cut, has none of porn in it. I mean, it has some new shots and everything in it from different angles and everything, but it has no porn in it.
Yeah.
Now, the porn is in the Blu-ray and the 4K Ultra version I have of it. It does have it.
Is this a cult classic? Do people like this? Or is it more like...
It's a cult classic, but the new cut of the movie is good. It's a lot longer. It's about 2 hours and 48 minutes. 58 minutes. 2 hours and 58 minutes. So it's close to 3 hours, but it's a lot better. It's a lot better. Then if you do, I mean, there's one thing that the new cut does. It takes out that was in other cuts that I wish it followed up on, but it really doesn't ruin it. It doesn't really ruin it. I just kind of wish they had it in there, but they didn't. But another time, if you want to do a part 2 of this podcast, Jason.
I'll do part 2, but I don't think I ever want to watch Caligula.
You don't want to watch close to 3 hours of that?
It is based on actual Caligula. Right?
Yes, it is. Figure? It is based on him, but like there's moments in the movie in which because they were trying to make a historical like a historical movie out of it, but there's moments in the movie it's like okay, they did not have an elevator.
Yeah, I gotcha.
They did not have an elevator.
Well, that's deliberately being anachronistic.
Yeah, well, the reason why there's like an elevator in it, or there's like a famous one of the more iconic scenes in the movie. In which there's a decapitation machine, which I'll show you this clip of this decapitation machine. It's bonkers, but it's great. It's like, all right, there's no way that was in ancient Imperial Rome. There's no way those were in ancient Imperial Rome. Those were made by Danilo Donati, because Danilo Donati basically was given complete freedom to do whatever he wanted, and so he made these sets out however he wanted, and they had to rewrite the script to fit the sets that he did. So the elevator, the decapitation machine, that was all his invention. And he also made what was, at the time, the largest prop ever, which was a giant-ass boat they made for a orgy, the Imperial Brothel, because there's an orgy scene towards the end of the movie. They cut it down a lot more in the new cut, and of course there's no porn in it. And the original cut, there is porn in it, but they cut it down quite a lot in the new cut because it didn't really need to be that long of a, because it goes on and on and on and everything. But because and what have you. I'm tired.
I'm tired too.
My voice. I'm talking. This is my autism going on
That's
here.
all right. I'm
So-
tired. Thank you for having me.
It's exposition done
We'll do another one.
Yeah.
We'll do another podcast.
in your baseball outfit.
In my baseball outfit. Thank you so much, Father
Of course,
Wesley.
It's nice to have you here,
Thank you
Jason.
for having me.
And we'll have to get Jason here again. I don't know who else I'll have to bring over. There's some people I have in mind. Brett Thomas. I like
That's a
Brett.
funny guy.
There's some other comics I need to bring in here as well. People
Yeah.
I really like. Sadly, I can't bring Joe Graham because he's in New York. I like Joe Graham. Marty, I do want to bring Marty, but Marty, he's all over the place.
Yeah.
It's very hard to get him to get somewhere and what have you. So it's going to be tough to get Marty to interview him. I mean, I know people that have interviewed him, but it's going to get tough.
Yeah.
And what have you. But that was the podcast, guys. Yeah. This was quite long. Longer than Tim's, but it was, Jason, he's cool. He likes to have it long. Tim has a mom, and his mom wants him for things, so we're going to have it that long. But Tim's mom, Jason's mom is like, oh, I like my son. I don't need him all the time.
Yeah.
Everything. But I'm sure Tim's mom's a good person, and Tim is a good person himself. All right, I'll see you guys.
All right.
Have a good one.
You.
I think
your family's home.
Oh, they probably are. Oh, yeah, that is
Hopefully
and a recording.
Hopefully they didn't park behind.